my name is Phung Hoang Ya. It means royalty. And my daughter's name is Phung Hoang Kim, which means the heir to the royal family or the family royal jewel, right? So my name means you have to carry this legacy and you have to always live a certain way. So I don't tell people my real Vietnamese name when I first meet them because they're gonna be like, this dude's either really arrogant and they get to know me and they're like, oh shit, he really lives this. So my dad knew as a poor kid that was like, your name sets your life path. So this is how you wrap back the legacy of like, all right,
Dang.
I'm getting in the coffee.
Yeah.
So I grew up in the nail shop.
Yeah.
Like we do nails in the front, in the back. There's a kitchen. There's rooms. Me and my mom had a room. Lived there, right? So most people are like, oh, I grew up in the nail shop. I was like, no, I physically grew up in the nail shop. It's a shot in the dark, but let's move to Cali. So I loaded up my 2007 BMW 335 with all my Jordans, and that's it. You're like, where's he going with this? That's it. And I was like, this is my assets. So I sold a pair of undefeated fours to move to fund moving to California.
Man.
And then on the way, I had a pair of Shadow ones. And I sold it to a kid in New Mexico because I needed gas money.
Dang.
And he was like, if you're gonna work here, just so you know, you're gonna be interacting with some people that you may think you know money, but you've never seen money.
Yeah.
Right. But the expectation that I have for people that work here are very high.
Yeah.
We are not a car brand or just a cool place for you to drive around cool cars. We're Audi. And I was like, but you're not. You're Taiwanese, man. Audi's from Germany. What are you talking about? And he was like, no. You don't understand. You have to live and eat and sleep and be this every day for the rest of your life. This is an OEM. This is an opportunity for you to be with an OEM. Do you even know what an OEM is? And I was like, yeah, of course I do. I drive a Beamer. And he was like, not anymore. You don't.
All right, man. Legacy Lounge. Sometimes people want to talk.
We have incredible guests here.
What's up, brother?
The definition of the Legacy Lounge is the stuff that he's putting together. He's a great community leader. His story is amazing.
We're back in the lounge. We got Charley, owner of Chloé Cà Phê. Thank you for joining us, brother.
Thank you. I really appreciate y'all having us. It's a very unique space for us to be in. This is my first official podcast in person.
Let's go. And he came with gifts too, man. Oh,
I'm telling you, I'm gonna go on record right now. We said it earlier, but you know, I've had cappuccinos, cortados, espressos. I've never in my entire life of being a coffee connoisseur have ever had anything more tasty than this drink right here. This is the pho Americano, bro. This is like,
Can we start right there?
Let's start there.
This is game changing.
Yeah, so that's our signature drink, the Shaken Pho Americano. We've played around with some ideas of wanting to do this for a while. I actually don't drink alcohol, but I visit a lot of bars and a lot of cocktail places because, just for a lack of a better word, I like to think I'm James Bond in my head,
I love it.
Because like when you're a kid, I grew up in poverty, right? Like poverty and beyond what most Americans can imagine, right? Like when I left Vietnam, our house in Vietnam had no electricity. Like we were boiling water to shower or take baths, right? But when it came to like wanting to live a certain lifestyle and like certain things, it's not just like for the sake of doing it for me. It was like seeing one of us could do it and make it, right?
Man.
So when I go to these bars and I go to these places and I'm drinking these drinks, I'm like, oh man, this is all cool, but like, how come in the West we don't really have a drink that's like a staple or like a unique thing that uses something beyond basil or mint, right? So as I became more and more successful and was traveling back to Vietnam more as an adult, I started going to all these wonderful cocktail, mocktail, or even like speakeasies that did wonderful drinks. And my friend, kind of plug him a little bit. He owns Sun Kai. It's one of the top gin brands, Vietnamese gin brands in America right now. But he went to school at Cal Poly, but went back to Vietnam. He's been in Vietnam for I think almost 11 years now.
Wow.
But he started a gin brand, and he took me to this one. I guess we'll call it, for lack of a better word, Havana style bar in Vietnam, right? On a rooftop. And they gave me a pho martini. And I was like, when I
So
sipped it,
was this when you were drinking?
yeah, no, I don't drink. So, but I go, like I sip it. Like I don't drink. So I'll order a whole bunch of stuff at a bar. I'll just sip it to learn. Because I grew up in food and beverage,
Yeah.
right? So I'm always learning, and I'm always thinking like, what is the best way to present our culture and make it like at a certain level where it's like it's not cheap,
Yeah.
right? So when they gave me this, pho martini, and I'm like, dude, this is crazy. And it's like small little, 5 spice and little star anise, little sitting on top. I was like, this is crazy texture, like silky smooth, but like at the same time that smokiness.
Yeah.
And I was obsessed for like 2 years of like trying to
Whoa.
figure out how to make this in this drink, right? But not in coffee. I didn't have any consideration of being in coffee at the time.
Wow.
So
How long ago was that approximately?
2019, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so a while.
2019.
Yeah.
And then
Were you already living in Sacramento at that time?
so to bring it back, thank you guys so
Yeah.
much for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. It's been it's taken my whole life to get to this part where I
Incredible.
could finally tell the story that is like
Incredible.
long story long.
Yeah.
So I was born in Vietnam. I'm from a very part of Vietnam that is not by choice. So my family came from wealth, a lot of wealth. My mom's grandpa had a steel factory in Saigon.
Wow.
And what happened was he had only one small little, tiny little vice, and it was women, but not any woman. It was other people's wives.
Oh boy.
And at the time, you got to think in the 20s and 30s of Vietnam, we're still under French colonial rule. Everybody lived very differently,
Yep.
but he had a steel factory, so he was living very well. There was a political group that was happening. It was called the Viet Minh, and they ultimately became the new government. But one of the party members caught him with one of the wives,
my
and then they
goodness.
planted guns on one of his steel trucks. So they had guns on his steel truck, and the truck was driving down the street. The French government, they were governing, so they pulled it over, unloaded all the guns, and were like, "Dude, you're smuggling guns for the communists." So they shot him in the street.
Oh,
That happened, and my family lost all the wealth. And then my grandpa, who at that time we're skipping past in time a little bit. but
yeah.
my grandpa's brother went to America already.
Uh-huh.
And this was like 30s, 40s.
Uh-huh.
Like we're about to gear up for not the Vietnam War, what we call it in America, but Vietnam was going to war with itself, technically with the French too.
Yeah.
That
But-
was like North versus South, right?
A little bit. So that's what we as Americans call the Vietnam War. But before that,
this-
it was the Communist Party starting to rise a little bit, and French colonial rule was like getting pushed out after the Japanese were pushed out in World War II,
Got it.
right? But by that time, my grandpa had already started going to places in Vietnam. He was getting his stature in the military. His brother actually came to the Mississippi Delta to be trained on Delta boats that we actually ultimately used in Vietnam during the war on the Mekong Delta. Because the Mekong Delta, we call it the Nine Dragons River, but it has 9 deltas that segue from all the way from the Himalayan Tibetan mountains all the way down to the mouth of South Vietnam, South China Sea, they call it. But those rivers flow exactly the same way the Mississippi Delta does. So my grandpa's brother got trained, and then my grandpa was like, "Oh, shit's really going south. We should go south." So he moved to a city called Châu Đốc. Châu Đốc is in the An Giang Province County. We're right on the border. We're technically 2 clicks away from Cambodia.
Dang.
So he was like, if it goes south, we're just
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
We're just going to get on a moped or just run, and we're going to be right there in Cambodia. So he had that foresight. And then when the war started really gearing up, we never really had to experience the war as far as my mom did back down there. The war was won not on, just sheer power, but it was, as you speak about earlier, growing up around Vietnamese people, it's the unrelentingness
Yep.
of being determined.
Yeah.
And whether you agree with it or disagree, I won't segue too much into the politics of it. But the war was won because Vietnamese people just did not want to be under any rule.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I understand both sides, and I grew up on both sides. So meaning the war happened, it ended. My grandpa went to a re-education camp, right? And I'll tie this all back later in the story. But his brother went to America. So my dad was born in 1960, and the war ended 75. He was already 15, right? War was already over. It was done. The new government's in, right? We call it the Communist Party. But they were like, hey, war's ending, but Cambodia is really doing some crazy stuff right now with Khmer Rouge. So there was an uprising in Cambodia, and Vietnam had to go and fight Cambodia. Like right after fighting America, went to fight Cambodia.
Bro.
Yeah.
And then my dad, who grew up literally underneath the poverty line, he figured out that the government was willing to pay for college if you went and fought in the war. So as he said, he's killed platoons of people in Cambodia to get an education.
To get an education. That's crazy.
Yeah, so he went the communist route. So this is what I mean by I grew up on both sides.
Yeah.
When I was born in 1990, my mom and my dad had just divorced, right? Because the government was like, hey, you know, like it's probably not the best idea for you to marry this lady whose dad's former old government and you're trying to move forward in the new government, right? So they got divorced. I was born, and then we had no contact.
Wow.
Right?
Me
and my dad.
Got it.
Grew up with none of the money, none of the just whatever, just literally dirt, muddy waters. Then in 1996, my grandpa, because of Senator John McCain, signed a bill to bring U.S. troops home, was brought to America. So he came to America to where my grandpa's brother was trained, Pensacola.
Yeah.
So Pensacola, Florida. I'm a Southern boy.
Yes, sir.
I grew up in the South my whole life. So South Vietnam, South. We technically it's Northern Florida, but we identify as the South.
Yeah, for sure.
We grew
no
up
question.
in the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
Like, that's Southern as can be.
Yep.
But yeah, Grandpa's brother lost everything, came to America, worked at the Piggly Wiggly, saw the whole game, and he was already educated, right?
Yeah.
The point of telling you that I come from wealth isn't because we have money. It's just we had education.
Yeah.
Right? And we knew where money could go and where it could be if you were educated. Right? So Grandpa's brother opened up the first Vietnamese grocery store in Pensacola.
Wow.
His brother came to America, my grandpa, him and both of them started building that business out. They would drive from Pensacola to Houston twice a week to get groceries and bring it back to Pensacola.
How far of a drive would that be?
It's like 11 hours.
I was about to say, that is not close.
Not close.
Sometimes 14 if there's traffic, but it just, my whole world is wrapped around culture and legacy because they built that.
Yeah.
Right? And so in 98, they finally did the paperwork. It brought us over to America. We were the last of what they call, I don't even know how to really say it in English, but the docket is H-O, Hak-O, right? So that's the first thing you learn. It's like, how'd you get to America? Hak-O. So we identify each other in the Vietnamese community as like, oh, so you're part of the government family, right? That's how you got to America. You're part of, like, your family was part of, either you worked for the American embassy or you were high-level Vietnamese, South Vietnamese Republic government, right? So that's how you got here. They started building a church in Pensacola, Vietnamese Baptist Church. So I grew up Vietnamese Baptist, but I identify as Buddhist. So my whole life I've always been Buddhist. Yeah. But it's always been about community and legacy.
Yeah.
Went to Florida State.
Florida State, huh?
Yep, FSU.
What?
Fuck shit up.
Oh, man. Let's go.
Go Noles.
Yes.
When we say, FSU, it means also messing up your GPA. Fifth year senior. But yeah, so I came to America. I was always picked on. You know, I was very much like the only Asian kid for any direction you drive for 4 hours, right?
Dang.
So our family figured out, like, when we came to America, we lived in Orange County for like 6 months. Because the paperwork was we're supposed to go to Pensacola. But my mom had more family on my mom's side in Westminster.
Yeah.
Technically Santa Ana, but Orange County is the biggest population of Vietnamese people outside of Vietnam.
I did not know that.
Really? Like
Not a city, but Orange County.
Yeah, Orange County. Yeah.
So more than Sacramento, more than San Francisco, more than New York.
More than all of it. So San Jose is the
Dang.
biggest population density in one city.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But as a county and area, it's Orange County.
I had no clue about
Westminster, HB, Huntington Beach,
Yeah.
Santa Ana, Fountain Valley. I can
Mm-hmm.
name all of them. Midway, they're all technically like,
Yep.
it's like saying the greater Sacramento area.
that. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's them, then Houston. But if you count just city, it's San Jose,
Jose.
then Houston.
Gotcha.
So because of Houston and what it was, like a lot of our family used to go there.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up what we call on I-10.
That's crazy.
So from Tallahassee all the way over to Houston.
Yeah.
All the way out to technically San Diego. But the reason
That's
why we didn't stay
wild.
in California is because, as you guys can probably tell, my mom knew with my personality I was gonna join a gang. There was no way about it. I was
She knew.
so 98. I was 7, but
Uh-huh.
at that point she was like, just like your dad, you're gonna join. You're gonna join the gang.
Dang.
Only child?
Only child with my mom and my dad.
I feel like that's maybe I'm. This is a wrong assumption, but that I feel that's like it's rare for the Vietnamese culture to be only one child.
It is. But again, the war and
Yep.
just the segue of things. But I'm my mom and my dad's only child together, right?
Where
My
are
mom,
they? Where do they live now?
So my dad has passed away, and my mom lives with me. I moved her from Pensacola from Florida to here.
Your mom's in Sacktown.
Yeah, she lives with us. She takes care of Chloe.
That is
Yes.
so awesome.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so the South is part of why my personality is the way it is. And we talked a little bit earlier before getting on the pod was code switching, right? Because I grew up in Vietnam where it's like everything that you are trained to do and move is as a unit, not as just as a family unit. Because we're technically Buddhist, but we're also Taoist.
Yeah.
And we're very like family segment. Like that's you do everything for the family, right? But the first thing you learn how to do in even pre-K or like daycare in Vietnam is you are taught how to draw. So it's this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. That's a star. But you don't lift the end of the pencil. You go up, you go right, down, and back. That's the communist flag. That's the first thing you're taught. Before you are taught anything, that's the first thing you're taught. It's mindset. It's not politics alone. It's mindset. It's how do we as a collective stay on this journey together and finish the road to unite the flag, right? So when you're taught that, then you come to America and you're like, yo, your people, bad people. So growing up in the South, I learned a lot about the Vietnam War, but I was like kind of, for lack of a better word, befuddled.
Yeah.
Because where I come from in Vietnam, we're like, you come from kings and queens. You're
Yeah.
descendant of dragons, right? So you
Yeah.
lose a lot of your identity, but you try to find it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So all I saw of my people and what we wanted to really present was different, right?
Yeah,
in
gotta
Vietnam,
be.
where it's like, oh, we fought off all these, not just America, but like Japan, China, all these imperialist countries, the French, right? And we're now our own people. We can make our own rules and we can govern ourselves
Yeah.
for our people.
Yeah.
And then in America, it's like, that's totally
It's
opposite.
not
That's
what
not
they
what happened.
teach in
That's not what they teach you.
Exactly.
Right? So you're like, man, am I good? Am I bad? You're
Yeah.
like back and forth, right? You're
Yeah.
like, am I a good person or am I a bad
Especially that young, like
Especially
learning
that
that.
young.
Man.
Yeah. So like, because you flip open the social studies books and all you do is like bodies chopped in half.
Yeah.
You know? And this is like, this is what your people did. I'm like, I didn't do any of this. You're a kid. You're like,
Seriously,
and and this is why education to me is very important.
Yeah.
Because in the South, it's like, I was a new kid in town. And I spoke a little bit about Eddie Huang, and I really relate to that because it was really that much that sentiment of like, yo, you're the new kid on the block, and you're not black, and you're not white, or Mexican, or you at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's like, damn,
Dang.
I'm already poor. How worse can it get? Right? I remember very vividly to this day, Miss Jones, who taught at Johns Adam Elementary School in Bainbridge, Georgia.
That's so
'cause that's
awesome.
where we lived. She said something to me very profound, and she was like, yo, if you don't fight back, they're gonna keep fucking you up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's a young
Yeah.
black lady,
Mhm.
and I was getting jumped like 3-4 times a day by black kids because
Dang.
I didn't understand why, because you're
Yeah.
7, you don't even speak the language,
Yeah.
you're just getting beat up for no
Dang.
reason.
No,
But
oh my
it was
goodness.
like my mom, we weren't on food stamps.
Yeah.
So like we didn't have the paperwork for food stamps.
Dang.
We weren't like we're on government income. We didn't have no subsidies.
Dang.
Right? So because we don't have no paperwork.
Yeah, yeah.
We're not citizens.
Yeah.
So my mom would go to have my aunt go to Chinatown, LA, buy clothes and ship it to us in Bainbridge. And it was like $1 a t-shirt, or less than $1.
Yeah.
But they were like Tommy Hilfiger.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was like Ralph Lauren, like
Yeah.
all the brands, right?
Yeah.
But like I was hot in the 90s.
Yeah.
So all these black kids were like, yo, how is he wearing like a different Tommy Hilfiger shirt every day? So they would jump me and take it.
Dang.
Yeah. So they was I was like, man, like this got rough.
That's
So
crazy.
Ms. Jones finally was like, yo, you're going to have to fight back. I'm not going to send you to the principal if you fight back. But you're going to have to fight back. I'm not going to fight it for you, but
And after Miss Jones said that, did you start fighting back?
you know, I wasn't big enough, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. Like
Yeah.
I started really changing the way I think. You
Uh-huh.
know? 7, small, scrawny, come from poverty, so I'm like very tiny, malnutrition, right? But I was like, yo, when he goes to the restroom, I'm gonna put that Reading Rainbow hardback. I'm gonna put that in my sweater, and now I have a brick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
yeah.
walk up behind him while he's in the restroom and hit him in the head.
Dang.
And I just kept doing that or doing other things, and it got to the point where I was still getting beat up, but I was getting beat up less.
Man.
It was like that from elementary to middle school.
That's
And it wasn't
crazy.
until like this pivotal change, because our nail shop that my mom remarried to a gentleman, and he at the time had a couple of nail shops, and he taught her how to do nails, and we moved to Bainbridge, Georgia. And in Bainbridge, Georgia is where like my mom learned how to do the trade.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'll wrap it back to Sacramento
Yeah.
with nails in a bit, but so she learned the trade, and she didn't want me touching it. She was like, "You're your dad's son. You're a man. You should never do these type of things." It's a very old way of like Asian and immigrant thinking, right?
Yep.
But I was like, "Man, you're making money. I want to make money. Like money means there's a way out,
Yeah.
right?" But it's just nope, it's not for you. Like we're not gonna teach you any of this. So I was just hang out at the mall all day,
Yeah.
right? But that's where I really grew up in black and hip hop culture. Is that like I was at the mall all day, and these stores were popping up, and 50 Cent was just taking off.
Yeah.
So I used to go into Radio Shack when they had free internet. If y'all don't know what Radio Shack is, it's before
yeah.
Best Buy, it was Radio
Oh
Shack.
yeah.
But Radio Shack in our town had free internet, so I ordered a pair of G units, right?
Yeah.
And and they're like, "Yo, how you gonna pay for this?"
Yeah.
I would go into the mall and just steal things from the Macy's and the dealers, and then take it to the school and be like, "Hey, you're beating me up for stuff that is not real. Let me sell you some real stuff."
Yeah.
And I would take that money and go back and buy the G units.
Yeah.
Because I wanted, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's why I started really developing the skill sets of like, okay, like, I want to make money.
Yeah.
I want to make money because I'm tired of not just getting beat up, but like being poor.
Yeah.
Being poor sucks.
Yeah.
Being poor in Vietnam is different from being poor in America, because in Vietnam, everybody's poor.
Got it.
And we have this word called Cao Dam, which means community, but technically it's also a dam is a field, and Cao is a circle. So it's a circular field that we all pull rice from. So we all eat. The goal is we all eat,
Yeah.
right? We ain't got that in America.
Yeah. No.
You poor, you going home to your house where you eat Kraft cheese and I eat rice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
It's very different. So for us, at a certain point, I was like, I really need to make money. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to make money.
Yeah.
I got caught.
Yeah.
I got caught, and then my mom sat me down and was like, yo, I did not work this hard for you to come to America and sit in jail.
Yep.
So that was very big for me.
How
That
old were you
changed.
then?
I think I was about to leave 8th grade.
Okay.
And I was like, this summer's going to change. Things are going to change. We're about to move. My mom's about to get divorced. She told me she was going to divorce the guy because a little bit of a gambling problem. So I decided that the summer before we moved to the next town, that I was going to spend literally every day at the YMCA.
Really?
And I was gonna get fucking jacked.
Man.
That was in my head. I was like, I'm gonna get fucking like F word.
Yeah.
Jacked.
Yeah.
I love the trajectory of this story.
This
like
is incredible.
This is turning into an like a real American movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, it starts off with getting beat up at school. Then he starts listening to 50 Cent. Starts stealing some shit.
Because 50 was jacked.
Yeah.
Dude. I was like, 50 was huge, and nobody wanted to mess with 50.
No.
Yeah.
It wasn't the rapping. It was the fact that, like, yo, he got shot 9 times and was still going.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna get jacked.
Yeah.
Like, because I grew up playing soccer.
Yeah.
But in soccer, being jacked is not good.
No, that's
right?
not it.
It's not it. But I was like, I have it in my head that this summer is gonna be the summer. We moved to another city. It's called Chattahoochee, Florida. It's about 30 minutes away from Bainbridge. Not far enough.
That just sounds like there's a lot of white people there.
It's a little bit of both. So it's weird because it's like we don't deal with this in California, but back over there, especially in the 2000s, you can move to another town and have another life, and just you got a whole separate family. Your other family wouldn't even know, and that's only 30 minutes away. There's no internet back then.
No,
dude.
yeah, I guess
And
so.
Early internet.
yeah.
And it's not like you can get on social media and be like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's another family. You know.
hilarious.
So we only moved 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
But it was like a completely different world.
New.
So it was a little bit of mix, right? It was like I went to school in Sneeze, which is people get a lot of it like mistaken by Needs. That's where Tim Tebow's from.
Got it.
Got it. We went we're from Sneeze. It's one city over from Chattahoochee,
Got it.
5 miles apart. So we didn't have enough money to have a house, so I lived in the nail shop. So my mom bought a nail shop for $5,000. It was because she sold her wedding ring, bought the nail shop, and I grew up in the nail shop from basically the end of summer of 8th grade into high school, all the way up to high school, exiting college.
Dang.
Exiting to go to college.
Yeah.
So I grew up in the nail shop.
Yeah.
Like, we do nails in the front, in the back, there's a kitchen, there's rooms. Me and my mom had a room, lived there, right? So when most people are like, oh, I grew up in the nail shop, I was like, no, I physically grew up in the nail shop.
That doesn't feel like the trajectory that ends up at Florida State, man. It just
doesn't. It doesn't, because like freshman year of high school, this kid named Eric, I don't remember his last name, but I sat in the class, and new kid on the block, still Asian, a little bit bigger now, but teacher was called Mr. Eric. He was calling, sorry, I forgot the teacher's name, but he taught math, but he was calling roll call, and I said my name was Eric. And Eric in the back was like, nah, you can't be Eric, bro.
Dang.
We already got an Eric. And because I was Asian, they're like, we can call you Chingy.
Oh.
Chingy the rapper was popping off in the town.
What's your legal name?
My legal name's is not Charlie.
Okay.
So I was like sitting there for a minute. I was like, my name is Gia, G-I-A. Or Americans pronounce it Gia, the Russian way. But I was like, man, if I can't be Eric, I don't really want to be Chingy. That's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
But to this day, my class ring and my Leatherman jacket says Chingy on the back.
That's crazy.
I became the Asian dude in my county. So I kicked varsity football from 9th grade out to 12th grade. And during workouts, like after school, we did work out twice a day. So we did after lunch and also after school, obviously, before practice or after practice. But they figured out I was fast because I was also like, I could kick, but I was a soccer player. So they would let me play JV. And then by the end of 10th grade, I played varsity as inside linebacker.
Dang.
Right?
Okay.
Because I was fast. You couldn't see me blitz because I was like short.
Yeah.
But my dream was like, all right, cool. Like, what's the next move after high school? And by this time, my grandpa's brother, both his twin sons went to Florida State.
Did they?
Their family was diehard Seminoles. We're talking like the days of Dion.
Yes.
Like solid Dion family. So before there was Jameis, we only knew that Coach, rest in peace, Bobby Bowen, was we had an altar for Jesus and Bobby. And
This is so good.
yeah, as a Vietnamese family, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, so we're going to Florida State.
Yeah.
We're not doing this whole Gator thing.
Yeah.
Our family, it's so hardcore. Our family doesn't drink Gatorade.
That's crazy.
We don't serve Gatorade in our
I
supermarket.
love this. I love this.
So it's like really become assimilating to be American and Southern American, right? So tried out for Florida State, did not make it. There was a guy named Graham Cano.
Oh yeah.
He was there, and he got the spot.
Yeah.
And I couldn't afford to be a walk on, so I was like, you know what? Let me just not go that route. Let me go to school.
Yeah.
So while I was going to school, I still this whole time was like, I need to make some money. Money is the way out.
Yep.
Like you're watching too many James Bond movie, too many Hong Kong movies about like drug lords and like smugglers, and you're like, that weird segue of like, I don't know if you guys listen to hip hop, but like,
Oh my gosh, bro. Yeah.
I think I'm Pusha T, but really, I'm J. Cole. I went the college route, right?
Yes.
And J. Cole has a lot of sport references, and I feel a lot of segments. So it's that way where it's like, I always
J.
think
Cole
about,
can ball.
yeah, like it's just, man, I didn't see my mom wash feet and nails and hands and do all that for literally my whole life for me to sit in jail. So I carry that every day of my life.
Love
right?
it.
So like in college, I started being a waiter at this place called Mr. Roboto's.
Okay.
It was I had always grown up in restaurants, but this was my first time working for a restaurant that wasn't family.
Got it.
Mr. Chan and Mrs. Chan, they're Chinese, but they serve Japanese food. Okay. Full segue, and it's like this kid, me, right? I've never had any opportunity, so I'm like, this is exciting because I'm at Florida State. I have a job, and I have a way out, right? So I work there, and they're like, "Yo, you going to school or you trying to work? Because you here like every day.
Yeah.
Like, you sure you want this much hours?" And it was I do that now with my team members at Chloé. I'm like, "Do you really want to work or do you want to go to school?
Yeah.
If you want to just go to school and you just want a job, I got you.
Yeah.
But if you want to work, I got you.
Yeah.
But I think it's better for you to really be realistic with yourself."
Yep.
So James Chan, the oldest brother, he gave me that same speech. Right?
Nice.
And he was like, "Bro, I don't really give a fuck about school.
Yeah.
I want to make money. I'm only going to school because my mom told me this is how you
Yeah,
make money."
yeah.
Right? And my mom's dad was educated because he was a general. They lost it, and then when she was the oldest daughter, she understood a little bit of that. But everybody else, ignorant.
Dang.
Not in the way of like just being ratchet, but like because we're poor Vietnamese people in a rice field. When I say the word ignorant, it's the core dictionary word of not educated.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like not knowing,
Exactly.
ignorance, right? I decided, I was like, you know what? I want to work for you because you guys are making a lot of money. So I don't want to put too much of their business out there because they're still operational. But at the time, they had one location on Pensacola Street, literally about half a mile away from Doak Campbell, where the stadium is. So on Saturdays, when the games day were there, bro, I was watching volume. Like, we're talking like crazy volume. We're slinging $9 rice plates with chicken hibachi, rice, and some vegetables for $9. And I swear to God, I cut about 10 pallets of chicken one time, of chicken breast, in one go. And I was like, dude, we are making like FU money. And no one knew about Mr. Chan. He drove an old Chinese dude driving a Hummer. And I'm still close to the daughter, the youngest daughter. Her name is Joy. And I'm like, yo, your dad is who I want to be. Like I like your brother, but like your dad is who I want to be. And she said I think she was 14 when we met, but she said that she was like, my dad had to swim from China to Hong Kong to get here. I was like,
come on,
I was
man.
like, oh shit.
Come
like,
on.
It's a lot of like chip on your shoulder mentality. But
Yeah.
he's one of those what they call the Hong Kong swimmers. To leave mainland China when the British were like, hey, we're not gonna give out any more birthright citizenship to the British naturalization. So you get citizenship to Britain. Right? That's how you get to America. So he swam. Him and his wife, Mr. Chan and Mrs. Chan, swam from Hong Kong from mainland China to Hong Kong.
That is crazy.
Let's pause real quick because I want to. You got 3 other drinks over there, so I want to taste one more drink before we get into the other piece of it. We have to do that.
Yeah.
And real quick, Let's give a shout out to these two amazing people that you have sitting with you.
So I have Jenny, who is she doesn't like to be called my right hand because she's left-handed. So she's my left hand. We met in one of my other businesses and through the Vietnamese community. So I'll tell you more about it later. But she's been with me through technically 3 businesses now, and is literally the little sister assistant that makes things happen.
So she's kind of like general manager almost?
Shop manager, general manager, mainly the main person directing off the e-commerce stuff too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Powerful.
we have
Powerful.
we have Steven in the corner over there. Steven is one of our first hires. He's been on board. Something we like to always talk about with Stevens and pick on him, but I relate a lot of it is he grew up in Yosemite, the only Asian kid in his area.
what nationality?
He's Vietnamese as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so all 3?
All 3 Vietnamese.
Yes.
Yep.
I love it.
This is incredible.
Because I feel like that's one of the, like, this is just my opinion. I know we're going to dive into this, but I think one of the hardest parts about starting a business is the employees and the people that make that business.
That you trust.
It's like, and sometimes it just, you get really, really blessed and really lucky, and you don't have to hit your head against the wall a gazillion times. But I mean, your crew is solid, man. Like,
I try to. So which
Yeah.
So there's a coconut cloud matcha. I think you should try it. One of you guys should
Okay.
try that for sure. That one's really good. And then the other one is
His eyes are twinkling over there.
Well, no,
man.
no.
I just love this.
so give him the matcha.
Yep.
I'm in.
I'll do the Earl Grey, vanilla.
whole milk or oat milk. Both. of them.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So we'll go back to the
Thank you.
coffee and the hiring.
Yep.
This is the
No, it's
leading
okay. I'll
up
be
to
fine. Thank
leadership
you so much.
is leading up to leadership is very important to me because you imagine like
Man,
the
I'm
matcha?
in. I'm
Yeah.
in.
it gets better if you stir it up. Too,
I
but, like,
know
yeah.
it's separated, but still. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
I'm like one of the few people that's like kind of anti matcha. I don't know why, but it tastes like grass clippings to me. Is that okay?
I don't mind.
It's okay. It's
I don't
okay.
mind
I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
taste is
see it real quick.
subjective. Taste is very subjective.
Let me just give it a
I love matcha.
give it a little stir roll for me if you don't
thought you,
mind.
thought you were gonna do it. Oh, you got.
You
your
love
hand.
matcha?
I don't love matcha, but I love my people.
Okay.
Just same with coffee. I like coffee and I'm in it now, but I more than coffee, I love my people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
a lot of the
He said,
taste,
"Yep."
a lot of puts the drinks together goes back to my whole life journey and leadership.
Great. Yeah.
So, man, Robatos out of Tallahassee, Florida, did a lot for me because for the years that I was there working, at one point, James, who lived in Vegas for a while, he came back to basically take over his dad's businesses. He was like, yo, let's do Asian wings. Very normal over here in Sacramento now, but back then, especially in the South,
That was
Asian
not a
wings.
thing.
This was before.
That's
like,
crazy.
It's crazy. Wingstop didn't take off yet.
Yeah.
But like, he was like, dude, what if we did a Shanghai buffalo? What if we did a Wang's
Shanghai
Wings
buffalo?
barbecue?
This
What
is
if
at
we-
the restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we already had like crazy Cisco food deliveries of
Yeah,
chicken,
yeah.
right? So he was like, what if we did lemon pepper cilantro, Thai chili? So like these
Whoa.
flavors that we know now as like Asian flavors, but back where I'm from, people are like, what? What?
Yeah.
Can't even spell Shanghai, dude.
By the way, hey, you are literally now talking this man's love language.
Oh, I
You see the twinkle in my eye when
Listen,
you start
man,
talking about chicken wings?
We could dive a lot deeper into this, but if we ran a wing eating competition right now, I guarantee you, I'll bet anything you'll lose.
Man, hey, I'm not saying that I'm gonna eat them fast or how much I'm gonna eat them, but are you gonna enjoy it as much as I do?
Maybe not. That I don't do. So back in the, so our whole business model was that like, all right, so there was a Jamaican jerk chicken place next door. So we're like on the other side of it was like, why don't we just have the Robatos here? We'll have another spot. We'll do just wings. And you know, wings are big to tailgating, right?
Big time.
Big tailgating. And I saw the business model, right? And I was like, James, man, like, why you teach me all this? Like this is a lot of like information. I love this, but why are you teaching me this? And he says, even if I taught it to you, you don't have the money to play against me.
Dang.
He comes from playing poker. He was
Whoa, so he got
he was
big,
like, well, it was
big
like,
bank.
he was like, well, there's no way. There's no way if I taught you the whole thing, you would not know how to do this restaurant, how to do any of this because you don't have the money.
Yeah.
That's it. Very simple.
What do you feel when you hear that?
Inspired.
Yeah.
Inspired, dude. Like I was waking up at like 6, sometimes 5 a.m. To go change out. We had like 12 deep fryers. So I would change out the oil on 12 deep fryers in the morning, go to class, come back and work from like, because I had classes scheduled from 10 to 12.
Yeah.
But I wanted to come back before lunch rush. So I would like sometimes leave class early and be at the wing spot from 12 to 10. So like, you know, Monday Night Football, you know, football games on Saturdays. I was in it. Like I was really in football and wings, right? I was pushing out so much chicken at one point. Like I was getting so jacked because it was free food.
Yeah.
You gotta remember you're a broke college kid and you have like chicken hibachi, rice, all this great stuff. And I was getting free food. I was getting paid well, a whole whopping $7.25 an hour. And I was across the street from a nightclub called Baja's. So the owners were like, "Yo, you can come over. We have bottles." So I was living the dream, dude.
Yeah.
Like there's a Van Wilder's National Fan Food. I was like living that life for a minute.
Yeah.
So I became a 5th-year senior, and my mom was like, "This shit's gotta change. Like, you can't be doing this for the rest of your life." And I was like, "No, we're making good money."
Yeah.
But my mom was like, "No, they're using you. Like, you're putting in all this work. You're not getting rich. They are." And I didn't see that way. I was like, "This is free game, you know." And my mom was like, "No, you need to get a real job." So it broke my heart. On the last day I quit, Mr. Chan came and gave me a shirt. And he never does that. He's so like, I don't want to use the word cheap because he's not.
Yeah.
He's a first Asian dude I knew that had a Porsche Turbo.
Yeah.
But he was just like, we don't give people the shirt for Mr. Robotos because when you work here, when you leave, the shirt stays. Because we don't want you to say that, yeah, I used to work for them and you have like this bad sour mouth, but it's in your closet. Like we keep the uniform and we wash it and we give it to the next person.
Yeah.
But it's not because he was cheap. It's because he comes from swimming from one country to an island so he can get citizenship. He's really
protecting it.
He's protecting not just the brand, but he's protecting like what he has, you know? So he gave me a shirt. I still have that shirt.
That's crazy.
But I got a job at BB&T, Branch Banking and Trust, oldest mortgage company at the time.
That doesn't sound nearly as much fun as what you just described.
What?
You was working at this this restaurant.
I know.
Unlimited
It's what
chicken.
I do.
You had a
Podcast
nightclub,
over.
and then you went to a freaking boring ass mortgage company.
No, dude. So they were making a killing at the time. This was right before 09.
God.
They were just correct. They were going off, right?
Yeah.
And the whole time I was working in college, my mom's friend became a broker, and he was buying up crazy amounts of things in Tampa. And I remember visiting him at 16. We were in an Infiniti M45, and he was like, "This is not money. You've never seen money." And I'm like, "Bro, this is money. Like, this is money. This is like 50-cent money to me."
Yeah.
Right? Because you got an Infiniti. And he was like, "Nope, I'm about to sell everything." Sold his NSX, sold his Ferrari, and he was like, "There's something big coming. We should not be selling houses like this. Something big is coming. I'm selling everything."
Yeah.
He hoarded cash. And in my head, I was about to leave college. So this is like 2012, 2013 now, right? And the crash happened. The crash happened right when I got my realtor license. And I was like, this is not, man, this is terrible.
Yeah.
So I go work for the bank. I was a teller/banker, and I would go on campus to sign people up for credit cards and debit cards, right? Student accounts. That was cool. And while all this is happening, and this is how I tie it back to California and what I do now, I wanted to do something to figure out a way out.
Yeah.
but I was also very actively involved with the Vietnamese Student Association at Florida State. My mentor at the time, we call him my big bro. He is from Panama City, and he started or helped start the Vietnamese Student Association at Florida State. So they call it Visa. Some colleges call it VSO, Vietnamese Student Organization. Some colleges call it VSA, Vietnamese Student Association. So I got involved in that. But it wasn't because I was like into leadership alone. It was like I wanted to see my people.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to see my identity. I wanted to like be a part of my culture. And I resonated a lot with like what they were trying to do. So from 08 all the way up to 2012 into 2013, I was going from college campuses with this money I just was making. I was also going to speak at UF, going to speak at UWF. We would drive to Emory in Atlanta, to UGA, all these other rival colleges, but they also have Vietnamese student associations.
Yeah.
And I would speak about the Vietnamese journey and what Vietnamese culture was like in Vietnam to these Vietnamese Americans born in America. So
That's
fancy
pretty dope.
way for meeting girls. It was, you know, a lot of that. And I remember this one girl, like, she was like, "Man, you have so much talent. You have the like this gift of being able to storytell and create, you know, a world that when you speak, people can imagine it. But you're using it to get girls, man. This is terrible." And she was a spoken word artist, right?
Oh, wow.
So she convinced me that we were going to fall in love.
Okay.
We did not fall in love. We broke up over a Childish Gambino album called Camp. Like, I'm really into hip hop.
Hey, just so you know, I'm really into hip hop as well. Like, crazy into hip hop.
Yeah.
And I saw Childish Gambino headline Outside Lands.
Okay.
This was back in 2019, so 6 years ago. Still to this day, one of the best performances I've ever seen in my entire life.
Young Gambino, man. He's
What did she say about him, man? Why'd you have to break up with
No,
her?
it's just we both like hip hop, but it's just we have different mindsets. Imagine I'm very corporate now, but at the time I was very arrogant. And some of that like young man arrogance I try to taper in now. But I'm wearing True Religion jeans.
Oh boy.
Right? I have True Religion shirt, Gucci shoes, like Gucci, Louis Vuitton,
Still got the G unit under.
Dude, I was going to these campuses talking, so like it was a lot of like showboating, right? A lot of what we grew up with in the South, right? A lot of like what Jeezy was what raised me, right? And she was like, "No, this is not it, dude. Like you too loud. You way too loud. I don't see those working out." And I was like, "Cool." So she goes to this conference in Minnesota called UNASA 9, the Union of North American Vietnamese Student Association. So now we're at a national level, right? And my mentor was like, "Yo, I think I'm going, you should go." And I was like, "All right, I'm going to go. I'm going to try to win her back."
Yeah.
So I go to conference, and there's where I met my wife.
Wow.
Not her. So my wife, Crystal, she's born and raised in Sacramento. Her family's always been in Vietnamese Sacramento community politics, and like they were part of building the Vietnamese community, Little Saigon.
Oh wow!
Right. So she was on stage. She was the MC, and it wasn't like I was in love at first sight. It was more of like, cool, like you're cool. Like, I ended up. This is probably too much info, but I ended up with her because we're all college kids, right?
Yep.
So they still do this to this day, but at national conference, some of the kids would split a room. So like 2, 3, 4 girls would split one room to save money.
Yep.
So I ended up on her bed, but not with her.
No.
But like she came back after emceeing, and she was like, "Oh, like I can't sleep in my bed because she who's this dude?"
Oh,
so
man.
I apologized to her, and we started chatting. And then like a couple months later, I flew to Davis to visit her. She was in college at the time.
Yeah.
Where was that event at again?
It was in Minnesota. So
Got
me
it,
and my
okay.
wife met in Minnesota.
Got it.
Right. And as we talked more, and I started growing older, in 2014, I decided, you know what, the bank's been cool, but I need to do something with my life.
Yeah.
And it's not in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
There's no opportunities here, and I was becoming too big for my town, right? And I had just, for a lack of a better word, messed up one of the worst things possible, which was the Asian Student Union paid for these two guys, Andrew and David Phung. They were big on YouTube at the time. They came to Tallahassee to do a show. I'm still somewhat, we speak, we're not like best friends, but they're like, I show up in a white BMW Deuce Zero, right? So it's got big wheels, you know, and I pulled up to the airport and I picked them up, and they're like, dude, this is crazy. First ever show that we ever did, and this guy picks us up.
Yeah.
So there's just like, man, you're just like our homie, Richie Lee. And we want you to move to LA and manage him. Like he's got the swag. He was popping off on YouTube, and we think with your drive and your business skills and his talent, y'all could really hit it off.
Wow.
I was like, this is my dream. This is what I've been waiting on.
Yeah.
This is like, I get to move back to LA and be Ari Gold. Like from Entourage. Right? This is it. This is my moment, right?
That's great.
And this was before my wife, but a girl from Orlando, I always get it mixed up. University of Central Florida and University of South Florida. So Tampa, she was from Tampa. No, Orlando, sorry. So technically Central, UCF.
Yeah.
She's from Tampa, but she went to UCF.
Gotcha.
Right? She came up and just pillow talk and told her that I was moving. And then she told her homegirls that like, he's about to move to LA. You know, like she thought she made it too, you know?
Yeah.
She bragged, and then like that didn't happen because it got back to him, and he was like, dude, this guy can't keep his mouth shut. Like, deal never went through. But I was like, I already told everybody I'm out. Like, I'm done. And then, you know, then I meet Crystal that same summer, right? And I was like, this is, you know what, whatever. Like, it's a shot in the dark, but let's move to Cali. So I loaded up my 2007 BMW 335 with all my Jordans, and that's it. You're like, where's he going with this? That's it. And I was like, this is my assets, right? So I sold a pair of undefeated fours to move to fund moving to California.
Man.
And then on the way, I had a pair of Shadow ones. And I sold it to a kid in New Mexico because I needed gas money.
Dang.
How did you like?
Bro, I met him on Nike. No, so it wasn't Nike. It was Kanye to the forum. I was on the Kanye forums for a while. So really into hip hop.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But so I sold it to him. I somewhat regret, but it was like I needed gas money. So
You had to. Yeah, exactly.
So I get to California. She's from Sac, so I ended up living with her family for the first couple of months. Hated it.
First time in Sacramento.
First time, 2014, November 2014. Like, I was here and I was like, I hate this place. This is just like Florida, but bigger. Like, no, everyone talks, no one's doing nothing, right? So I developed a solid, like, you could see it in my eyes.
Yeah.
I hated Sacramento.
Man.
But it was just because if you think about it now, and I don't want to do too much of a spiel on this, but like at the time, Sacramento was growing. And we were always like a city. I say we now. But like we're a city that's like, I don't know, a lot of people know this, but the A's were supposed to move here originally a long time ago. Right? So like where's the city like we could have been, but we never been. And maybe it's that self like hate in me that I also just went through of like I could have been but never did. Right?
That makes
sense.
Like,
you know what? This sucks. Everybody here is full of BS. But what do I do? I'm already here. And then my dad, he got flown to America by the American government to teach a class at University of Georgia. Just so evidently that's where the girl, the poet, was from. So I flew from Sacramento back to Atlanta and hung out with my dad for a week at UGA. And he was teaching a class on global strategies on how to politic and navigate the South China Sea. Like a whole class on this because he was the head of customs in Vietnam. So your dad's like your idol, right? It was supposed to be, but I grew up without him. But they always talk about how he had money. You know, I remember when I was like 5 or 6, he pulled up in a brand new Benz in Vietnam, and we're all living in poverty, and he's in a Benz, right? And like he's telling me all these stories of like the war. He's telling me like not the American war, but the Cambodian war, right? And then he's telling me about money, and he's like, "Yo, you struggling over here, like in America?"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I didn't send you over here for that. And I was really heated because I was like,
Dang.
you didn't send me shit, bro.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
like, I didn't get a check, a penny, not a quarter, like, never. And, like, in my head, I was like, hip hop raised me, not you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it was me, my mom, and hip hop.
Yeah.
That's all I had, right?
Yeah.
So he was like, take me to the Capitol. I was
Mhm.
like, take you to the Capitol? I don't know you.
Yeah.
But I drove him from Athens, ultimately, from Athens to D.C. because he wanted to prove to his colleagues that, like, I went to the capital of America
Oh,
as a
damn.
communist.
That's
right?
crazy.
And on this whole talk, we start talking about, like, I didn't give you anything because if I gave you something, you wouldn't be where you are now. You've never had to taste pain like I did. You've never had to taste poverty at a level where I used to peel coconuts for like, you would peel coconuts.
Uh-huh.
Right, to be able to afford buying pencils while in college. And he would haul rice sacks, like 60-kilo rice sacks. That's 120, 30-ish plant, give or take,
Yeah.
on how they shove it, right? But he would have to haul that on his back to go to college because the government paid for college, but they don't pay for food,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And if they pay for food, you're still hungry,
Yeah.
right? So on that trip, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I am struggling. I'm struggling in America because, like, I don't have an identity. I don't have leadership. I didn't have a dad to teach me what I was going to be and how I was going to do it. My mom had to be my dad.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, I was like, what do you have to offer that my mom hasn't already given me? And he was like, you can come back to Vietnam. I'll set you up right now. He's like, you either go back to Vietnam and I set you up and you take over the empire, or you stay here and struggle. And I was like,
Dang.
I'm gonna struggle. Like, you know, as a man,
Yeah.
any man growing up or any man, you want to be bigger than your dad.
Yeah.
Whether you say it or not. Like,
Yeah.
he's either your idol or your rival.
100% agree.
Right? And I've always lived in that mentality where it's like you hustle into your idols or your rivals.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, so he goes back to Vietnam. He leaves me with, like, basically pocket change to me now. But at the time, it was like a grand or two.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, fuck this shit, man. Like, let me just, Sacramento sucks. I'm sorry, Crystal. Like, I'm leaving. So I pack up my car, move this SF because I was like, Elon made it. I can make it. Again, I don't know nothing at this point.
Yeah.
Besides, I thought I was a big fish in a little town. I go to SF and I get it handed. it handed to me.
Man.
And at one point, it was so bad, I interviewed for a job at DeVita's selling hospice care.
Jeez.
And I made it past the first round. In the second round, they started showing me photos, and I was like, "Ooh, this is not for me.
Dang.
This is not for me. This is definitely not for
Yeah,
me, man.
yeah.
This is tough work. You have to sell this to somebody.
Oh my goodness.
That's not just care living. That's
Oh yeah.
the people that have that. I applaud you because you have empathy and you have something in you that can care for people, but be able to sleep at night, I couldn't.
Man.
It's tough,
Yeah.
right?
I'm
But
with you.
I started interviewing, and I was selling women's clothing on the third store of Bloomingdale's, and they closed down. But so I had new business, but I didn't really know business until I was interviewing, and this one job listing on LinkedIn was you get to deliver luxury cars and engage with customers.
Oh, let's go.
And I was like, I love cars.
Yeah,
I
no
love
doubt.
cars. And this is where the story actually gets interesting. Like, we're like almost an hour in, and it's finally now just interesting. So
Love this groundwork though.
go
man.
go to the interview, and just so happens they're both from the East Coast. Gabby, to this day, I still respect her a lot. Her and her mentor, Sonia. Sonia runs a business where she subsidizes basically anybody could bid on an airport. Or basically, if you were 6 is big now, but back then they were trying to launch. She could go in and bid and say, we'll staff it for you, we'll run it for you, and you just, we're not gonna, it's not technically white labeling, but we're just, they're staffing agency.
Yeah.
Right? And so Gabby was interviewing me. She was like, man, you're really passionate in like what you're talking about. And I was like, Gabby, I will live outside this building for this job. You just told me I get to drive cool cars and talk to people and just be in a car, period. I'm in it.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Go to the second interview. Sonia interviews me. She shows up late. She's chain smoking a cigarette, and she sits down. She was like, "I heard you're from Florida State." And I was like, "Yeah, like I'm proud Seminole." And she was like, "I am too." With this raspy,
What? You got to be kidding
No
me.
yeah, she was like
way.
with this raspy, like super Florida State girl, but like she's older now. But she's like, "Yeah, I am too." We don't really have much to talk about, but I think you're pretty much higher, just because you're a no, right? And then, but she was like, "But you have to talk to our director of operations." So I went into the interview with him, complete opposite, Taiwanese dude, very much blazer, watch, suit, every day. This dude is relentless. Like he interviews me, 3.5 hour, 4 hour interview. I didn't say, but maybe 30 words.
Dang.
He talked for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. So that's how I do interviews now,
Yeah.
right? And he was like, if you're gonna work here, just so you know, you're gonna be interacting with some people that you may think you know money, but you've never seen money,
Yeah.
right? But the expectation that I have for people that work here are very high.
Yeah.
We are not a car brand or just a cool place for you to drive around cool cars. We're Audi. And I was like, but you're not, you're Taiwanese, man. Audi's from Germany. What are you talking about? And he was like, no, you don't understand. You have to live and eat and sleep and be this every day for the rest of your life. This is an OEM. This is an opportunity for you to be with an OEM. Do you even know what an OEM is? And I was like, yeah, of course I do. I drive a Beamer. And he was like, not anymore. You don't.
Oh, damn.
Man.
So I passed the interview. I worked, and then 4 months in, we're sitting in the kitchen, and he's like, Charlie, you really do like cars? And I was like, nah, dude. Like, this is my dream. So what the program was Audi Business Innovation, ABI. They're part of the board. They're part of Audi back in Germany. They've figured out that by late 2014 and 2015 that we no longer need to sell cars. I know that sounds weird, but what we were focusing on is what we use now, the word mobility. So at the time, Uber never became this big thing yet, but they were about to take off. And all these other brands were fighting to see how do we stay relevant as a car brand past selling cars. And Audi had this mindset where it's called Audi On Demand, and Audi Business Innovation was the head of it, right? So anywhere in San Francisco, the 7x7, you can book an Audi and we'll deliver it to you. I was the delivery boy, and I could really drive a car because I used to deliver wings.
Yeah.
Does that still exist?
So in 2014, they said we want to be in 20 cities by 2020. By 2018, they had somewhat already hit that. So what we were working on was we're like, all right, we're a pilot project. So we had 4 R8s. We had 4 S8. We had 4 or 5 of every of the supercar, the RS models. But we had at one point 220 cars, and we were paying about $250 a slot for parking.
Was it all in SF at this time?
All in SF.
No, let me break this down real quick because I want to be specific on this. This is fascinating. Was the clientele mainly people that were coming into SF from other cities, or would you get the occasional, like it's somebody coming in from Sacramento or Los Angeles? What was the demographic looking like?
Absolutely great question. And that question is what I was asking too. But to fully understand that question, it was like, where are we parking these cars?
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, that's a lot of money to pay for just parking spaces, right? Audi was literally, I call it Audi, but ABI was, because we don't answer to Audi North America. We're the board, right? So we decided, I keep saying we because I'm living it, right? I'm living like I'm Audi, right?
Yeah.
So we knew that we had customers that wanted to be within what we call the lifestyle, but not drive Camrys. So let's say if you're a person visiting San Francisco from the Kremlin, none of these are made up. These are real stories.
From where?
The Kremlin in Russia.
Oh.
You can't get no paperwork in America, but you wanted to be in America to do work and hang out for about 2 or 3 months, right? We will rent and deliver the Audi to the Fairmont. You get off a plane, you take an Uber to the Fairmont, and we'll deliver it to the Fairmont. You wake up, the car's there. No logos. We pay for all Bay Area fast track and bridge tow, free Wi-Fi. pioneering stuff at the time.
Liability, though.
All insurance, LEW, loss damage waiver, it's covered if you check the check mark, but it's all app based. Peter Thiel actually used the app.
Dang.
Peter Thiel was part of PayPal, right?
Yeah.
So I got to meet Peter Thiel. I got to meet Guy Kawasaki. I got to meet all these big names, and I was really understanding what my mentor, the director of operations, he became. Yeah, I've never seen money, dude. I thought I knew money until I started getting into that world. The clients that we were delivering to, number 7 at LinkedIn. She rented a car, like an Audi Q7 was $300 a day, and she had it for a month, 2 months at times. We had a guy who owns a winery in Hillsburg. I would say it wrong, Hillsburg or Hillsburg, but Hillsburg.
Yep.
He lived in Boston, but he would fly here in the winter, and he would stay here, and he would rent the Audi RS7, which is $800 a day, for 2 months. And it would be like these weird deliveries where it's like, you want delivery on this car? Like, I show you how to use it. Because sometimes it's also a great way for people to say, I don't want to go on a test drive.
Yeah.
I want to just rent this car and see if I want to live with it. Because parking in San Francisco is hard. Like, you want to see if this whatever fits in your vehicle. Can you live with it? Do you need a Q7?
Yeah.
Maybe you need a Q5 or a Q3. This is what the program is about, right? That part of it too. But we also had clients like that where like, oh, I have one of these at home, dude. I don't need delivery. I'm just as stunned as you are right now. You're like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, I have one of these at home. I just don't want to rent a Camry, you know? So we would deliver the car to the Ritz-Carlton, and then like there's the Ritz-Carlton, and then there's like next door is also the Residency, right? So we deliver it there. He'll drive it to Hillsburg to his winery, and just pool would open up out of the ground, heated pool, obviously, and I would deliver the car to him because during all this, it sounds cool speaking, but people are like, yo, who's willing to wake up at 3 a.m. to deliver this car at 7?
Yeah.
Nobody. Like, literally nobody. And my mentor was like, somebody's either going to do it or we're just not going to. It's a white glove service.
Yeah.
It's got to appear like white glove.
For sure.
So I was like, yo, you're going to pay me to hop in this Audi RS7 to drive it
Didn't even feel like it worked for you.
Oh, dude. On the drive up, the song on repeat the whole time was Drake and Future's.
Yeah.
I can get used to this. Yeah. You're driving a car that's worth more than your mom's house to meet with a person that owns a winery. That is some literal James Bond stuff that I grew up
crazy
like to experience, right? I get there, and he's like, hey, you want some wine? I'm like, I don't drink. He was like, oh, I meant for you to take back to the office. So he gave me a case of his wine from his winery.
Oh, my goodness.
Won't name the winery or the gentleman, but, like, I thought that was cool. We started doing other random things that were just like, this guy flew in on a 80-person jet by himself.
By himself? Oh,
and my mentor and I went down to the San Jose Aviation Center in a Q7 and an S8. The S8 was expensive. But I pull up to the airstrip, and I get to drive the car onto the
yes, you do,
literally on it. And I was sitting there for 2.5 hours in the car, and because it's white glove service, I can't turn the car on because the gas would go down.
That's crazy.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So the gas had to look full for him when he get in.
Yep.
So I sat in a hot car on an airship for 2 hours. I didn't know it was going to be 2 hours. He said he was going to get there at like this time. He never got there. And my mentor, it's a Saturday. No one's doing it, right? But me and him. And he's driven. He's already had a couple businesses, but he wanted to go back and work in corporate. So, dude, I sat in that car. I hated life, but then it's like jet lands. I'm like, dude, where is this guy?
Yeah.
Then the biggest jet ever lands. Stupid big. But like it lands, it dwarfs everything else. And like it pulls up to its own parking spot. I see the guy get up and he just takes the headphones off. He walks to the door, opens the door, and walks down. I'm like, I'm here to deliver to Mr. And he was like, yeah, that's me. I'm like,
you just flew it down.
Just flew a jet, dude.
What?
And I was like, his bodyguard was walking behind him, and I was like, yeah. I just didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
What do you say to that? And it was
exactly.
just like, I was like, well, would you like delivery? And he was like, nope, I have one of these. I'm going to the game. And it just clicked on me. He flew in on an 80-person jet by himself to go to the last game of the Warriors when they were in the championship.
Come on.
Yeah.
Man.
And then he just drives off. I walk my little butt outside the door, and my mentor was like, that was cool, huh? And I was like, dude, how much is that guy worth? And he was like, you can't even Google it. I was like, this is crazy.
Oh, man.
That did so well for Audi that Porsche came knocking. Porsche wanted to build things in Toronto, so we built something called Porsche Passport in Toronto. So in Toronto, the weather changes a lot. So a customer does not want one car, but they also don't have the garage space for 5 cars.
Yeah.
So we built a program where globally we wanted people to stay in the Porsche brand. So now we say we, because now we're stepping onto the Porsche world.
Yep.
You could have a Panamera for whenever you need it, and then all included, you could switch 2 to 3 times based on tier. It's a subscription, it's not leasing. So you can cut out anytime you want, right? So you could be 4 months in and say, this is not a lifestyle for me.
Yeah.
But you could have it for the 3-4 years if you wanted, right? But in one calendar year, you could switch out 2 to 3, maybe 4 cars based on your tier.
Man.
So you could have a Cayenne for the winter when it's snowing, all-wheel drive. You could have a cab during the summer if you wanted. You could just have a Panamera. Or if you wanted to, if you really could tick that box, we'll give you a turbo cab, right? So it's a great way for our brand, Audi Porsche. So I tell people I used to work for Audi Porsche because it is a way for us to say, on a global level, how are our customers living?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And Audi and Porsche at the time was like, besides running fleet systems where we don't call it rentals, we call it partial ownership, we could also go to Tishman Schneider, who builds condos. They own the Lumina in SF.
Yeah.
We could say, hey, we'll put 5 cars in your condo, and it'll be an amenity for your clientele to rent an Audi by the hour.
So
that's cool.
So you very long-winded answered my question. So now I'm clear on who the demographic is. The demographic is not me. The demographic are very wealthy people, correct?
Yep.
Secondly, I'm curious about how do they find out about you in the first place? The hotel that you just mentioned, it sounds like the
concierge service, they'll order. If you're a resident, you get an email. It's an upsell for them too. It wasn't really supposed to be for everyone to know about. It was more about like, it's not about the money and your wealth level. It was about a certain level, for a lack of a better word, and it sounds very pretentious when I say it, but intelligence. If your average tech worker who makes close to 6-figure can understand coding in that realm, they can understand at $150 a day to own an Audi A4, right, for the day with no logos on it. You can book it and I'll deliver it to your house in the sunset. Comes with a full tank of gas, free Wi-Fi, bridge tow, and insurance. You can go, literally just wake up in the morning, car's outside your house, like it's your car. Lock, unlock, start the car with your phone, and we'll give you a key card too as well. Show you how to use the car if you want it. I was a concierge.
That's crazy.
I would deliver you the car. You would go to Napa, you go to wherever, come back, car's gone. Just leave the car and we'll come back and pick it up.
See, I'm a big Larry June fan. Like, that's one of my favorite rappers in the world.
I don't like Larry rapping, but I like him as a person.
Oh, my God. He's top 5 in the game for me.
I'll tell you why.
I'm a big Russ fan. No. 'Cause Charlie, I already like you, brother. So we can't get on Uncle Larry. But Uncle Larry owns quite a bit of automobiles.
He likes cars. I
think he loves cars.
If he hears this, he'll probably check me, but he loves cars. I'm on a very different level of cars.
Yeah. No, I'm not comparing the two, but I'm just saying.
No, but what I mean by that is like, I don't like chill music. Larry's very chill. And this is part of Northern California rap culture that I never understood. It's not that I knock it, but I grew up dope boy. We sell drugs.
Yeah.
Larry's, we do drugs, we have fun. Russell is like, we build businesses, we're for the community, we have fun. And all I know growing up is I-95 South, right? Like Port of Miami.
Yeah.
That's all I know, and that's all I will ever know. It's get rich or die trying.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not that I don't like his music, it's just, it's not my vibe.
Yeah, that's
right?
okay.
But big car guy,
Yeah.
would he have liked that service? Maybe not.
Well, I'm just saying, like, he's got to have multiple places to store all these things. But as I'm
Correct.
listening to your story, just the convenience of it, because it's taken place in highly dense cities like
Yep.
San Francisco, Los Angeles, where parking's next to impossible.
Yep. So,
And if you get people that are on the move constantly, it just kind of works.
so we're at this level where it's no longer just like you like cars, right? And that was what my mentor was trying to explain to me the whole time.
Yeah.
It was like, dude, this is OEM. They have access to things that you won't see or know for the next 20 to 50 years. Like they knew London was going to be no cars in the future. So how do we build a brand and a story? Because to most people, Porsche is a cool car brand. To me, it's a last name, and I got to protect it like it's a last name.
Yeah.
That's somebody's real last name. Like we know Ferdy, like we know the grandson.
Wow.
Like, he hangs out, he goes to the same events we do, right?
Crazy.
So like when they speak at that level, you answer questions in businesses that are very, not just how do I pay the rent?
Yeah.
How do I set this up to play forever?
Yeah.
Right? So
is that business still?
Audi On Demand is still thriving on a global level, no longer in California.
Okay.
Porsche Travel Club is still around. They do a couple tours a year. It's another program that we helped build where what happened was a wealthy Korean individual flew into San Francisco. Him and a couple other people that were with him wanted to go on a rally. So we helped build this rally for him to go from San Francisco to Napa, from Napa to Monterey, Monterey down to LA, and then fly home from LA. So Porsche was like, let's do one like that, right?
Yeah.
So he now works with Porsche as well to do that. But Porsche Travel Club is you fly into a city, go on a road trip. The goal originally was for you to leave the rally, have these nice experiences that are like, they're like $12,000 to $14,000 starting per person.
Yeah.
They're not cheap.
Yeah.
If you have a co-pilot, it's a little bit cheaper for them, but like they won't be driving, liabilities.
Yeah.
But like we book out the French Laundry for them. We around a golf for them, right? These experiences is what you're selling as part of the brand. You buy a car from us or you don't buy a car from us, you're still within the brand. So now when I talk to some people, they're like, what do you drive? I'm like, I don't drive anything. I'm beyond cars.
Yeah.
And it sounds weird because like you just said you're a car guy. I'm like, I love cars. I have multiple cars, but I'm beyond it. Because those customers, imagine this one guy's family is the IKEA of Korea. He can have any money in the world, but he can't have a car.
That's crazy.
But when he drives, he wants to drive a Porsche.
Why can't he have a car?
No space. If you could be the wealthiest family in Singapore, the money it takes, the government impact that you have to even in Shanghai. You know, the Mercedes made the Mercedes 4-liter G-Wagon and the Mercedes electric just for Shanghai.
No, I didn't.
They're just selling. They were selling at one point G-Wagons in Shanghai like hotcakes just because they made a 4-cylinder. Because it doesn't matter how much money you can be a multi-millionaire or billionaire, you can't get that sticker that says you can have an ICE car.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't, because at a certain wealth level, everyone's wealthy, dude.
Yep.
You get in line, right?
Dang.
So how do we keep the brand alive as Mercedes, as Audi, as Porsche, to really keep our family in forever?
Yeah.
Right? So the customers that are like back to the tech employee or the person, they don't need to own a car. You live in San Francisco, Uber everywhere.
Yeah.
When you're in the city, you're really in the city. Or you can take public transit. But if you want to go to like the Redwoods, you can rent an Audi A3 or a Q3. You don't need anything fancy. It's much cheaper than owning a vehicle. And I truly believe in it because like the time it takes and the stress of parking in the city is incredibly hard for someone that doesn't live there to understand. Like you spend 20 minutes looking for parking, like 3-4 times a day, that starts adding up quick.
Oh, yeah.
So your customers that may not be wealthy will still understand, I don't really need a car. I can just rent from them. But you don't want to rent a Camry. You don't want to go down to the airport and sit in line and book and go through all that hassle. That's 2-3 hours, the same amount of time as you parking your vehicle.
No question.
So brands really started getting into this realm of partial ownership. And during that time, I met Scott Keel. he was the head of Audi North America.
Mm-hmm.
He became the head of Volkswagen Group North America. Now he's a part of Scout Motors. They're bringing Scout back.
Got it.
So Scout is a car brand that America had, but the Volkswagen Group owns it now.
Yeah.
I'm like hanging out with Stefan Winkelmann. He was a previous president of Lamborghini. He left Lamborghini, went to Audi Sport. From Audi Sport, he went to Bugatti, and now he's back at Lambo. Right. So that taught me a lot about business, a lot about like how to do things and build brands. Because what they have is not a car or a vehicle; it's a lifestyle and an equity. Okay.
There it is.
What does all this have to do, and why I'm on this podcast to talk about coffee? Right. It's when this started happening and ending in 2018, going into 2019, I was just fed up. I didn't want to be there anymore, and I was mentally checking out because I was like, dude, I'm doing all the work. I don't have the title. I became. It was like I understand it, but I just did not agree with it. Where you could not be the business manager unless you were German.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't. It's literally not a race thing, but it's like it's a culture thing, right? It's like to us, it's like this is our hometown. We're from Stuttgart. We're from these other things, and we understand the culture, and we speak differently. We move differently than you. It's not anything to do about race or thing. It's not that at all. I don't want it to seem that way to the person just listening to a sound clip. But it was really culture that I couldn't understand. I understood, but I really wanted business manager title. I wanted to be the head of operations. But my director of operation, for what he did, he was flying at a point where he couldn't be in the office anymore because he would be in Shanghai, he would be in Germany, he'd be in like the craziest place, he'd be in New York. And Audi, we just bought Silvercar. It was the biggest purchase that Audi has ever done, which was Silvercar. I met with their CEO and their founder, and what they did was they were buying silver Audis and renting them out at airports via an app. And it was all Audis.
That's crazy.
That sounds cool, but what do you tell Audi North America as the brand and the board is like, hey, there's a company, they're dumping 20,000 silver Audis into the system every year. The dealerships are like, how are we supposed to make money?
Yeah.
How do we move? We can't move. Everybody has the same silver Audis.
Yeah.
The used car market for Audi at that point was like, we can't do it. We can't do it. This is not possible. So we had to buy them.
Yeah.
We had to buy them just to take out the competition. We didn't really need, because they were doing the same thing we're doing.
Yeah.
But he knew that. The CEO was like, the only way that they could really
super smart,
they
right?
have to absorb it.
Yeah.
So that was a smart play.
Yeah.
So I saw how funding works and how investment works and how you become unchallengeable to the people that you are competing against by selling the same thing or doing the same thing. I was like, yo, I'm out. Like, this is it. I left. I got an offer from Waymo. I got an offer from Uber has a group called the Autonomous Technology Group, ATG.
Okay.
I got an offer from them, and I started to see how autonomous vehicles could work, and Zoox was taking off at the time. They built on robot taxis. I saw city planning playbooks. I know how city grids work and how to get tax incentives to move from like Waymo or Zoox would. Waymo moved from Mountain View technically. They built a whole infrastructure out there in Waco, Texas because of incentives, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I started learning a lot about that, doing that for a bit, and then COVID happened, and I was like, right before COVID happened, I was about to leave the brand. I went back to see my dad, and I was like,
Did you?
Here's a bottle of wine from this dude who I met. Here's a bottle of Dom.
Yeah.
Wait, was your dad in Vietnam?
He was in Vietnam.
Yeah.
He just retired. He was about to retire. I was like, here's a bottle of, $1,000 wine. Here's his Jordan. Here's Opus. And he was like, that's cool, bro. Let's go for a bike ride.
Your dad sounds like he was a G.
Too much. So we go for a bike. So because I flew into the Saigon. This is my first time back as an adult, as a man. I was like, my whole life, I was like, I'm never going back to Vietnam unless I have a Rolex Presidential on my wrist.
Man.
I'm not going back.
Yeah.
But my dad was like, no, just come back. And I was about to leave the company. And I was about to get married. So
Yeah.
I was like, these are things I need to do
Yeah,
to
yeah.
check the path of being really Vietnamese.
Yeah.
So I go back, I land, I go out there to his house, and I was giving him this. And he was like, yeah, let's go for a bike ride tomorrow. My house is being renovated. It doesn't look that great right now, but let's go for a bike ride. And he showed me his bike collection. I didn't really think anything of it because
Yeah.
they're just bikes. Because I knew he had money, right? We go. This is what the party was. You would like. Next morning, 4 a.m. we wake up, right? And retired beach city. It's called Vũng Tàu. I speak fluent Vietnamese, right? But we go outside. He has a Cipollini NK1, right? At the time, a $20,000 bike. Next to another Cipollini, $20,000 bike. Next to another bike that was a Tour de France bike that the winner won with $30,000 bike. 20, 30, 20, 30, 40, 15, 20, aluminum, titanium, whatever you want. 30 of them.
30 bikes.
Yeah. Like, she's been there. She's seen it. Like,
Oh,
when I tell
my
people, they're like,
goodness.
that's like, bro. But wealth is different when you work for the party, the state.
Yeah.
And wealth is different when you're in other countries, right? They don't buy cars. Where are you going to store it?
Yeah.
That's too much loudness.
Not to get political, but I'm going to ask the source. I went to Vietnam. I was in Vietnam for a month, and I was on a mission to really find out as much as I could about the culture. And from what was described to me from a couple of Vietnamese people that we were talking to and kind of became friends with when we were backpacking there, was communism exists there. It's a communist country. And there's a level that they don't want you to rise above. But your dad sounds like he was maybe a little bit of an exception. And I'm wondering if there was an exception because he fought.
No, it's not really an exception, but it's like, I try not to drive too much into the politics because there's people that will listen to this that were like my grandpa who are super anti-communist. But if you come down to the very base level of what logic is, it's like, what is better? A couple of people like my grandpa and his dad profiting and sleeping with other people's wives, or everybody as a whole country is fed. Communism is better for the people. That's how they won the war. If you're a poor farmer and you see this dude driving by, did you know that all my companies are named after Bao Dai's, the last emperor of Vietnam's cars? The emperor of Vietnam has a collection of Ferraris, and all my companies are named after those Ferraris.
That's crazy.
He lost everything. He's buried in a graveyard in Paris that no one knows about. His family lost wealth, so much wealth. When on the day of his wedding, Bao Dai's wife's family gave them 20,000 bricks of gold. That's the amount of money they had at one point. And then you lose all of it, right? Bao Dai lost everything. His watch is the most significant watch in culture, like watch culture. It's called the Bao Dai Rolex. The only other watch to trade higher than it is the Paul Newman. The Paul Newman Daytona traded for 5. Rolex, Bao Dai's Rolex went for like 1.2 and then again for 3. But my whole life journey is about how do I not lose the empire? How do I not leave a legacy, right? To go back to your point and what we're talking about in terms of like, my dad understood that because he came from poverty. He didn't come from money like my mom's side did. So he was like, I don't want to get too loud. I like bikes. I like cycling because he had a heart problem.
Yeah.
And he was also, when you're moving up in the government into Vietnam at the time, it's like quid pro quo a little bit, which is common all throughout the world, but it was a little bit more quiet, but a little bit, I wouldn't say dirtier, but in Asia it's common. Whereas like from 75 to 94, we were embargoed. But if you're a customs agent or head of customs for Providence, you could, this is a true story that my dad did, you could give somebody 20 bricks of gold, and then they would give you a fisherman's license for you to leave the country. If you left the country at that time on a boat, you would get shot.
Oh my gosh.
So you would get shot. There's no question. There's no talking. It's just, you would get. I shot my first AK when I was 7. That was what my dad wanted to do before I went to America. I was like, this is who you are. This is the gun that won our freedom. This is what you are, where you come from. You will never forget it, right? But my dad bought his brother a fisherman's license for 20 bricks of gold, and he would clear them to leave the country, go to Singapore with 100 grand, buy up all the Japanese electronics, come back from Singapore with 100 grand worth of electronics and sell it and flip it in 7 days. It would be a couple of days on water. They were in, technically, it'll take a day and a half, 2 days to load up in Singapore. And then it would come back from Singapore into Vietnam. So a 7-day trip, they'll make $1 million US in the 90s in Vietnam, right? After the embargo. So he knew what money was. And I just got exposed to billionaire money.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, but that's not where we come from, man. Like, this is different. Like, you could have a bicycle and no one will know. I'm like, Dad, that's a $20,000 bicycle. He was like, yeah, but to the people around, they're all on bicycles too. They don't know this is a $20,000 bicycle. They just know it's nice.
Yeah.
And it resonates with me because that's why I like Porsche so much.
Yeah.
You could have a Porsche ST, go to Whole Foods, and no one would know that's just not another 911. But the difference between an ST and a 911 is a couple million for the right customer.
Damn, couple million. So let's bring this home together because this is going to turn into a two-parter.
Yeah.
So bring us now to
The coffee.
Well, I kind of want to know too, like, there's no coffee shop that I've ever been to in my life that exists like Chloé.
Yep.
First of all, where are all the cars coming from?
Okay, so again, I'll try to seg this in like 5 minutes. From 2019 to 2023, I started building a relationship with my dad. Passes away. I fly back to Vietnam for his funeral. He passed away on my wife and I's anniversary. 12/12/12, right?
Dang.
So he passes away on Thursday. He went out on a bike ride on his Cipollini with his friend, and then he just lay there to rest, and they were about to bike back, and he just went, just very peacefully.
Wow.
So he passed at 7 a.m. I was on a plane. I found out. And the family didn't want to
Unexpected.
tell me. Unexpected. The family didn't want to tell me, but my dad's best friend that was with him, his son called me and was like, yo, your dad just passed. And I thought he was joking. And I was like, ain't no way, bro. I just saw him like a couple of months ago. He was good. Like,
Man.
I actually didn't go see him. I went back to Saigon, the Ho Chi Minh City, you call it. But I went back to Saigon, and I was like, oh, I don't need to see him. I'll see him next time. Biggest regret ever now.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, fuck. You know what? It's too late. I'm not going to go. And my wife's dad was like, no. If you don't go, you're not a man. So I got on the plane at 10 p.m. Thursday night, and I was back home before for the last funeral percussion. We call it percussion because there's a whole band that comes in.
Got it.
So at his funeral, all of the family members that are now in the government, in customs, his friends that made some money and do supply things. One guy, he was like, Jenny's actually met him. He's a big character, gold all over, super loud. But he was like, I supply 20 of the biggest Vietnamese grocery stores in California. I make $7 million a year moving coffee. Why do you not want to work in anything with Vietnam? And I was like,
wait, did you just meet
I just met him for the first time. One of my dad's closest friends.
And this was in 2012?
2013. I'm sorry, 2023.
23, yeah.
Yeah, my wife's anniversary and is 12/12/12. And my dad passed away on December 12, 2023.
Got it.
Yeah. So I never met this dude in my life. And he was like,
That's
yeah, you can make
crazy.
some money, dude. Your dad's dream is for you to like carry on the legacy. That's why he named you what he named you. And I was like, I ain't got shit but a name on a piece of paper from him my whole life.
Yeah.
All he gave me was birth,
Yeah.
you know? But his name is Phung Hoang Nam, which is loosely translated to essentially part of the royal nation, the royal family. Jenny could correct me, but my name is Phung Hoang Ya. It means royalty, right? And my daughter's name is Phung Hoang Kim, which means the heir to the royal family or the family royal jewel, right? So my name means you have to carry this legacy and you have to always live a certain way. So I don't tell people my real Vietnamese name when I first meet them because they're gonna be like, this dude is either really arrogant and they get to know me and they're like, oh shit, he really lives this. So my dad knew as a poor kid that was like, your name sets your life path. So this is how you wrap back the legacy of like, all right,
Dang.
I'm getting in the coffee. I get back to America and I call up everybody, dude. Everyone I know. I was like, yo, my homie Aldo, he runs Mornings Coffee. The son of the owner, Bernard Arnault, who owns LVMH. Yes, the Bernard Arnault. His son goes to my homie's coffee shop, and I'm like, yo, Aldo, I'm getting into coffee. And he's like, dude, no, you're not. And he's like, this is ruthless out here. They're like, no, I'm gonna call up Ben Lau. Ben Lau does T-shirts. He is the e-commerce chain that holds Amiri underneath it, and all these other brands. He's been in the game for a while. He's one of the original members of True Religion, and also original member of like the brand that I like always wanted.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Ben, you have a cool coffee shop in Long Beach. Like,
Yeah.
how do I do this cars and coffee thing? Call up everybody. I go to meet Mike. Mike left Twitter. He owns the Motoring Club. Mike had left Twitter and was trying to get this pilot project off the ground. Didn't work. And I was speaking to him in 2019 already. I was like, would you ever come to Sacramento? And he was like, there's no money in Sacramento. I'm like, okay. So he goes to LA. He does his project called the Motoring Club in Playa Vista. Cars come in. So what it is Motoring Club's strategy is you pay for a membership at this place that has coffee, but it has also a workspace with internet, fast internet, a podcast room for you to be with, and then you can store your car there. Because we're talking about the future of cars and the future of car ownership. No storage. But you still want that cool, air-cool 911 that is vintage, but you have nowhere to store it. Because everybody in LA, for lack of a better word, lives in a shack or in an apartment somewhere. But they need like 15 cars. You got to be seen in a new car, right? And he knew that. So he went down there, started a motoring club. It got funded, and he's doing some very cool things now. But it really took off when brands like Ford could be like, yo, can we do the Ford Bronco launch here? And he's like, yeah, why not? And then there's a new company coming out. There's a new company coming out. And now he has people like Nike that will come to his other location. He has a big location downtown LA now where there's cars there already. You have 1,500 members paying X amount of money a month to be part of this membership, where they get the store car, and then coffee's just the add-on, right? And Nike could be like, let's just drop 200 shoes into the back of this car, and then you have a built-in clientele that gets access to the new SBs that come out. You're selling membership. You're selling access to your members. You're not selling just a space. He brought on someone to do the coffee program. It did good, and then they launched Motoring Coffee in SF is on Union Street. The guy that runs that, also named Mike, they call him Little Mike. Mike was part of Collecting Cars, a British brand. And I'm in cars, like really in cars, right? As a culture and brand. And I was like, I'm getting into coffee. And they're like, you're about to lose your pants. Because that's not coffee. There's no money in coffee. And I'm like, you're right. So to wrap it back to Sacramento, now it's December 2023. We have another business that we haven't even talked about yet.
The dumplings.
The dumpling business.
Oh, boy.
So I figured out through cars, and after COVID lifted, that I have a friend whose family is, they own 40 plus restaurants in SoCal. They make dumplings for all these dim sum places, right? I won't name drop them just because this guy really loves his privacy. But he grew up, imagine the story of Mr. Chan and his wife. This dude's family is crazy rich, Asian rich.
Yeah.
And like they started building an empire, and we're just sitting in the back of our other homie's house, and he was like, I have a dumpling business. I sell dumplings. I sell them wholesale, but it might not work for your food truck.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to launch a food truck. I just left the brand in 2019, and 2020 COVID happened, and I was trying to launch a food truck. And he's like, dude, the margins aren't good on it, so I don't want to sell it to you. But I was like, yo, what if I buy it from you, and then just sell it at the food truck? He was like, yeah, but I have this other thing where why don't we just deliver dumplings to people's home? Does that sound familiar now? This is why I tell people the story the way I do. So you could go on our website, you could order dumplings and we'll deliver it to you. It's called Cali Dumpling. You probably saw our ads.
I've seen it,
right? So you could order restaurant quality dumplings to your home during COVID and near the tail end of COVID. and I would drive. She is how I got her. So I called up the local.
That's how
Vietnamese-
you guys met?
Yeah.
That's great.
So my wife's part of the Vietnamese student organization.
Uh-huh.
She was the president at the organization in Davis, and then she became the president of the NorCal chapter a couple terms after my wife. So I was like, hey, I need students, I need drivers. You can make $10 per delivery. It's all you. The delivery fee was $10. So they could make $250 to $300 just driving for like 3 hours. And I had this system built in that I knew from Audi and Waymo and Google called Google My Maps. So you could export a spreadsheet from Google, from any CSV into Google My Maps, and it'll plot the charts for you. And then you can chart them from place to place with the lowest and quickest route, right? And it's what AWS uses for the delivery system. So I could figure out how to get her paid quicker so she could do 30 deliveries in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I think when we're delivering the
4.
Slinging dumplings.
slinging dumplings, and then I was like, dude, this is really great, but COVID's lifting, and I want to make more money. Can I buy more dumplings? She was like, dude, I could sell you as much dumplings as you want. And I was like, all right, there's this thing called Foodie Land. They have food festivals nationwide. They have an event out in the marina in Berkeley, and I need 2 pallets of dumplings. Each pallet holds about 50 boxes. Each box holds, at the time, 20 bags. So at one point, I had 14 8-foot-long chest freezers in my garage holding dumplings
In Sacramento.
in Sacramento. And I FaceTime her during the interview, and I was like, "You're gonna be delivering the dumplings. I'm doing it out of my garage. I'm gonna drive the dumplings from Sacramento down to San Jose with dry ice, and you're gonna deliver in San Jose. I'm gonna go deliver in Mountain View." So we had this thing, right? But I was like, "Hey, also we're about to do this thing where at these festivals we need to sell the dumplings cooked now." Dude, our first event, we did so much volume, I ran out of propane. They were like, "Yo, can we go home? It's cold." I'm like, "No, we staying." So we
Festivals are off the chain, man.
Yeah.
I got peeled back the curtain on that, and it's insane money.
Well, it's a lot of people, and it's high dollar point.
I made $6,000 selling lemonade. Like when life gives you lemons, I really made lemonade. Like seriously, like because we ran out of propane. They were like, "Yo, can we go home?" And I was like, "No, like we're not going home." So the very next day, because we had like the small propane tanks, the very next day I went and got the 100-pound tanks.
Yeah.
My wife's family in Sacramento have been selling food at events and catering at the Folsom Pro Rodeo. Like their family have been in Sacramento, like true Sacramento.
Yeah.
So they've been selling at Chalk It Up. They've been selling at like all the small local Sacramento events. So while I was working at Audi, I was also working with them. They did the first Aftershock, and we're about to do Aftershock again with the dumpling business.
Yeah.
But their family's been doing Aftershock since it started here.
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
So their business used to be called Deluxe Burgers.
Okay.
It used to be across the street from Cesar Chavez Park.
Okay.
Deluxe Burgers, right? But they figured out one day while they were in their shop that across the street there was a festival, Chalk It Up, that they're like, "Why are we paying rent on this building when we could just be doing festivals?"
Yeah.
So now all they do is festivals.
Yeah.
Concert in the park.
Concert in the park, country in the park.
Yeah.
Yep.
The freaking pear festival out in by the river.
Yeah.
The rodeo, the asparagus festival, all of it. At one point, I look up to my father-in-law so much because at one point they were selling hot dogs and hamburgers, deluxe burgers, outside of Candlestick.
Man.
He's a proud Niners fan. So I watched the game and I paired the game with knowledge and infrastructure. So at these events, by the end of 2021, we were selling dumplings at these festivals. 4 events in with my connections, we got to do Coachella. Well, not technically Coachella, but we went to Coachella to feed 88 Rising, a Asian record label, at the private mansion party. And I'm really into hip hop. So I know so many people.
Yeah.
And she got to sell dumplings to Jackson Wang, the biggest, I forgot what Tina told him. My Taiwan or my something king. Huge Korean pop star, but he's from China.
Yeah.
Right? But we were doing things like Rich Brian, who's a rapper, right? we were serving him dumplings.
Crazy.
And I was like, I'll do it for free. I will serve the whole, literally the whole house, the whole mansion for free if my little sister gets to be there and meet these people and we get the pictures. Like, that's all I care about is the fucking pictures. Right? And they're like, cool, but you can make your money back. We have this thing called 88 Rising Head in the Clouds. We'll do this festival out in Pasadena. So I ate the debt on serving them for free. Like, we had to drive all the equipment, all the dumplings out to the desert, serve them. And then we had to wait till when they did the festival 4 months later where they did Head in the Clouds, where we did dumplings at their music festival at the Rose Bowl. So,
more than worth it.
Jameis Winston got to play in Pasadena. I never did, but that was the closest I got.
Dang.
Right? So through that, we started doing more and more and more and more events, dude. Like, and then basically that's what funded the coffee business.
So real quick, the name of the dumpling business is
The Drunken Dumpling.
The Drunken Dumpling.
And
Okay.
we do dumplings at large-scale music festivals and events. I do not show up unless there's 50,000 people.
Damn, that's crazy. And then I want to go back to something because I really want to make sure I understand this. You explained the car club. I get it. These specific dope ass vehicles that are seen in Chloé, are they coming in from people from Sacramento, or are they coming in from people from like LA?
No, it's Sacramento. It's all Sacramento based, and it's the people that, as I'm telling you this story, you guys just met me.
Yeah.
But these people have been watching me literally get it out the mud.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, yo, we got money, but like, Charley, that's inspiring. That's grit that you can't teach.
Yeah.
So they're like, you know, the GT3 that was in there that was green with the gold wheels, that's Nelson. He used to own an Audi, right? He's been a big supporter of mine. And because he put his GT3 in there, his buddy Chuck put his GT3 cup car in there. That's, you know, you don't just buy a cup car, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like off the sweat equity that I put in the journey and what I've been able to bring to Sacramento, because somebody basically literally said, no knock to Mike, but Sacramento doesn't have money. And I'm like, dude, you're totally wrong.
Man.
But let me do it, but I want to focus on coffee.
Yeah.
As you're seeing me travel throughout the country, literally, so December 2023, I was like, all right, we're getting in the coffee, but we still got to make money. We still got to do things for the dumplings. I was traveling from state to state, the city to city. I would literally do an event in Phoenix. I would show up on Wednesday. No, Tuesday to LA, pick up the dumplings from my buddy's factory, USDA, SQF certified dumplings. And then I would have to drive it to Arizona, to Phoenix, build the kitchen, start selling dumplings on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Who's with you?
Yeah,
You're not doing everything that you're saying with just you two.
We are.
Oh
But wait,
goodness.
but here's where legacy comes in and where the whole story wraps in. Is that, hey Jenny, I need an army. Call up the local Vietnamese student organization at Arizona State University.
Crafty.
Call up the local Vietnamese student organization at ASU and say, we need 20 people out here. And I'm willing to pay them above $1 over minimum wage plus tip. And I'll cash them out on Sunday, or I'll pay them via Zelle on Monday, right? We would have to do that, break down the booth on Sunday, because my wife, Crystal's a full-time attorney. She's at home with the benefits, doing all the paperwork and doing all the stuff, and being the home front, like keeping the stable, right? So by 2023, we had Chloé. Chloé was, you know, growing up, and I'm like on the road, and I'm like, I'm about to get in coffee because I'm like, I just lost my dad. The only thing I've ever wanted to be in life was a father, something I never had, right? So how do I stay at home? I can't build a bar. Because my goal was to scale the Drunken Dumpling to be a bar, right? I actually was supposed to be your neighbor.
Really?
So Sam Allen owns a spot down there, right?
Yeah.
With
How do you know
Pop-Out
Sam?
I was supposed to sign here like 3 years ago
Are
for the
you
dumpling
serious?
business.
Hey, can I just?
I didn't say anything just yet because I wanted this to happen, but something happened with the county where they didn't let that spot open the window. And that really messed up everything.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I want a dumpling spot where it's like indoor, outdoor, where I can serve to go with the pop-out window.
Yeah.
But if anything, I'll roll the garage door up. But they're like, you can't serve it unless it's all enclosed. So I was like, dang, this sucks, man. It really sucks. I really like Sam.
Yeah.
And I know what he's trying to do here.
You're talking about downstairs,
downstairs. And then
where the ice cream shop's at.
Yeah. Well, no, not at the ice cream, where the Mexican spot is now.
Got it.
Oh, got it.
And I also know where Combe House is.
So funny. When I first met you and I told you where I was at, it was almost like you didn't even like blink at me. You're like, I was like trying to
Right
explain. I was
time
like,
for
I was
everything.
like, no, but I was like, Charlie, it's North Oak Park, and you were just like, bro, and now you're telling me this?
I don't like moving into the city or any culture or any community without being just a culture vulture.
Yeah.
That's what I've stood for my whole life because I hated seeing people do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make sure that if I position something, it's like truly something that you can't buy.
Yeah.
Right? So as I'm traveling for all the dumpling business and I'm like, yeah, I really need a spot. I'm trying coffee and I'm like, no one has good coffee. How
Yeah.
come? How come no one has good Vietnamese coffee?
Yeah.
So I was like, I called back Vietnam. I was like, all right, I have a business idea. It's gonna be kind of crazy, but like, give me a couple months. So I fly to Vietnam in February. So my dad passed away in December. In February, I fly back to Vietnam. We go try all the coffee shops in Vietnam that are like, good. They're considered top, ranked on New York Times or whatever, right? Some of them are boo-boo.
Yeah.
96B, we'll finally get to it. 96B is one of the top shops in the country now. They are a coffee shop / cafe coffee project by Ty and Hannah. They source and produce coffee now. So they go to the farms, they buy it, and they produce it. They do certain things with it, what's called production, right? And they sell it. And the only people that really are moving it at a certain volume is me and Blue Bottle. Blue Bottle sells it or allows you to try it in Blue Bottle Studio, Kyoto. Blue Bottle Studio, so like their reserve line, in Kyoto, Seoul, and now Hong Kong. Right?
Real quick, the name that you just mentioned.
96B.
No, the people that
Hannah and Thai.
they're in Vietnam.
They're in Vietnam.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're the ones that are sourcing these beans.
They're growing them too. They're buying them and they're producing them.
Are these beans grown anywhere outside of Vietnam?
Vietnam has the largest production,
Okay.
but the largest holding technically is the Philippines.
Okay.
So Vietnam and the Philippines.
Yep.
And on top of them sourcing them, they have a coffee shop in Vietnam.
So I talked to them. I went to there. I did. They've never done this before, but I was like, I want to do all your coffee workshops in 2 days. That's all I got for you. And they're like, dude, we're not going to do it unless you pay for 2 people to be in there. And I was like, it'll be me, my wife, my baby, and Jenny in the shop. And I will pay for 10 people if I have to. Arrogance, money.
Yeah.
Vietnamese people in Vietnam hate doing business with Vietnamese Americans that think money solves everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That
But-
is
Yeah.
good.
So, but I was like, no, I'm one of you. I grew up here.
Yeah.
But I really need this knowledge. I'm not paying in arrogance, but I'm paying because I want your knowledge.
Yeah.
They did the workshop with us. We learned a lot, and we saw the need for a pilot project, right? So we did that. We went all around the country. We went to this other shop out of Dac Lac is what you guys call it. Dac Lac is the home of specialty coffee in Vietnam. So a lot of people buy their coffee from Vietnam, but they don't say it. Starbucks buys $280 million worth of coffee from Vietnam. They don't tell anybody. Nestle, all of Nestle or Nestle's instant coffee is done in Vietnam. All of it. So they figured out a long time ago that the same land that the American government bombed and napalmed, the Vietnamese government came in after the war and the land was already cleared. So they started growing coffee because the French brought coffee to Vietnam in the 1800s, technically. So we've been growing coffee in Vietnam since like basically 1908. Liberica's been there. They tried to see what would grow.
Yeah.
And Liberica took off and Robusta took off. 2 species of coffee. But there was only one place at the time that really could grow Arabica, which was Dac Lac, right? So those are the 3 species that we really are known for in Vietnam. And the globe sources a lot of Arabica from South America because of the slave trade.
Yeah.
Right? I'm learning a lot about coffee. I'm seeing all this work, but I'm like, there's no business here. It's a cool coffee shop, and I'll make a little bit of money, but is it scalable? I don't know.
Yeah.
We spent 2 weeks learning as much as we could. We go back to America. We go on the road. Now I'm like, let me bring some green coffee and some roasted coffee from Vietnam. So this is where I-95 South J. Poe comes in right here. First dumpling event. We go to a coffee shop, or like the next place we go to Corvus out in Denver.
Okay.
Top brand out in Denver.
I literally have a Corvus coffee cup at my house right now.
I've never met the dude, but I met his head
That's
barista and trainer. I look up to them. I wouldn't say that. I don't want to use the word monopolize, but they've monopolized specialty coffee, third wave coffee in Denver.
It's good stuff.
I look up to them a lot.
Love that.
Right? They're what we know Tempo is here in Sacramento. That's what they are in Denver. I go to Proud Mary in Austin.
Proud Mary is one of my favorite coffee shops. So I've only been in Portland though, the Portland one.
Portland's great. We've actually met the owner of Proud Mary in Portland, but the shop in Austin's the one, dude.
Their marketing's next level.
No, it's not marketing, man. It's not marketing. I know that you know them. I agree with you, but it's not marketing. It's the amount of care. The research and the knowledge speaks for itself to people that are willing to buy.
Or maybe both.
Because you got.
How about this? How about this? Let me say this. Their branding, I feel, is phenomenal.
Well, they can communicate the product.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have to. They're not in your face about how good it is.
Yeah.
Right. They have a machine in the Austin location where all the coffee is in a freezer, and when you hit the button, a programmable dose or amount of coffee will fall into a chamber down a silo right in front of you, like as we are sitting right here, into a grinder, and the grinder will grind the coffee as it is, and then they will take it out and make you a pour over. Like on the spot. Proud Mary is, I can't say a single bad thing about how good that dude is. What he does.
I just want to say this too about that. That speaks volumes to, there's some coffee shops, so I won't name names, that don't even offer pour overs because it takes too long.
Yep.
But what you just described, that is, I can see
Next
that's
level.
That's next level.
And we're like, we gave them all of our coffee. Both shops, and then these other shops were like, yo, here's some coffee. Tell me what you think. And they're like, dude, this is insane. Like, where did you get this? I was like, yeah. And then we did that for all of 2023 in the beginning stages, and then like October comes, or near October comes, and I'm not gonna name any names, but we have a little bit of beef that I don't want to talk about, but locally I was like, man, we don't have a Vietnamese coffee shop in Sacramento that is at this level, because it sounds pretentious and it sounds like gatekeeping sometimes when I talk, but it's really for the sake of like, how come there's no Vietnamese specialty? Everybody wants to do the fin drip. That's in your pho restaurant. Everyone wants to do a trendy batch fin and then sell you a sugary drink. But if we were going to say that we were going to be the first Vietnamese specialty shop, we need to be on the grid. We need to be in Midtown, because why does my culture have to be in South Sac and yours gets to be in Midtown?
Talk to him, Charlie. Talk to him right now, bro.
But like, it's also like, when we did that, I went to Sam at Scorpio, and I was like, Sam, like, what do you think? And Sam was like, dude, you got it. Go. Like, just go. So I went to Sam. I went to all these other local shops. I went to this one shop, and I was like, I gave them coffee. I gave them green coffee and roasted coffee. And I was like, at the time, I didn't know how to roast. But I was like, I need this green coffee, unroasted, to taste like this. It's roasted. And they're like, cool. You've been talking for an hour and a half now. Come back tomorrow and tell this to my manager. And I was like, go back the next day. Told it to their shop manager, and they're like, great. I gave them 6 pounds. Nothing happened. 4 weeks later, they launched this whole campaign about how they went to Vietnam to buy coffee. If you know who it is, don't say it, right?
What?
And I'm like,
no way.
And I was like, well, you know everything. I don't know anything how to roast. I'm like, so I was like, cool. I'm definitely gonna get some good product. So I was like, I'll pay you $3 to roast my coffee per pound. Okay?
Yeah.
And I know that's not the industry standard,
Yeah.
but I'm like, I'm willing to pay more because I don't have the knowledge. I'm a firm believer in paying for knowledge.
Yeah.
So they're like, cool. But then I start talking like I do, like drugs. And I don't know if that made them uncomfortable. So I get it if it made them uncomfortable. But they're like, I reached out to the girl, and she was like, hey, I need you to email this email. I'm like, we're talking in DMs. Why do I need email now? And I just spent 3 hours talking to you. They're like, well, email and let me know what and I'll let my owners know what you're trying to do because we don't want to get involved, and I don't want to get involved, and I don't want our shop to get involved unless we know what you're really doing.
They didn't trust you.
I'm selling coffee, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and you guys are supposed to be the expert in Vietnamese coffee. Everybody in the community says you guys just went to Vietnam and got some coffee. So I'm like, okay, well, this is how the game is played. And my friend in LA is right. You about to lose your pants. So I was like, you know what? We have a little bit of money. I'm willing to bet the farm on this. I borrowed some money from a friend, a really close friend, and I maxed out all my credit card, and I maxed out all the wife's credit card. Like, we're in a lot of debt, but I was like, you know what? Let's do this right.
Now you're living the American dream.
That's right, bro. We bought equipment, went back to 96B. So we bought a $3,000 coffee grater and went back to 96B and was like, yo, we going to all the farms. We going to all of them. And they're like, dude, no, you're not. They're just like, me and Ty are very alike, but she went to Oxford and I'm uneducated.
Yeah.
Right?
That's your...
that's one of the co-owners of 96B. And she was like, no, you're not. She was like, she's wearing Prada. She's like, you're not going, right? And I was like, no, I'm going. Like, I'm going.
Did you because there's an obsession over this particular bean that you're talking about.
Yep.
Did you learn that from her?
No. So in Vietnam, we call it café mít, which is jackfruit coffee. We don't drink it because we lack the resources to make it good. This plant has been grown in Vietnam since forever. It feels like, right? The 1900s, not like 1999, 1900s, right?
Yeah.
We don't have, there are certain people that will grow in Vietnam for shade because a regular coffee tree will grow between 10, 12, 15 feet high. A Liberica tree can go between 30 to 60 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
You can't harvest it unless you have ladders.
Yeah.
So we don't have the technology, and a lot of the farms are poor indigenous people that are, for lack of a better word, native Vietnamese, like indigenous tribe Vietnamese, right? So they don't use it. But we're like, we're going to go all the farms. We're going to try all of it. We're going to see all of it. I go to the farm that the coffee shop from Sacramento source from, and I was like, tell me what you know about them. I'm like, oh, we've never seen them. They buy from a place that buys our coffee, that polishes it and sends it back. I'm like, do they know they're buying indigenous slave labor coffee? I'm like, nope. So this is where I get to like, okay, it's like that.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go to all the farms. I wanted to see my people. It's not a vacation destination. It's not a place where I just buy coffee and then leave the problems. That's that sentiment that Vietnamese people in Vietnam hate from Vietnamese Americans.
Yeah.
You're just here on vacation. Cool, you made some money in a nail shop. You got a Lexus, base model. You got a Mercedes, base model. You're in Vietnam for the summer. You're spending a couple grand. When you run out of money, you go back to America, make more money.
Yeah.
Where am I going to go? This is home. This is where I'm from. I don't get to just leave the problems and leave, bro. This is where we've been here since 4,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? So I carry that on my chest at all times. Whereas like when people talk that talk, I'll talk that talk with them because I'll meet energy with energy of like, I'm more about conversation and less confrontation. Yeah. But when you try to make money off of my culture and my people and then you don't present it a certain way, I feel a type of way about it because I was that kid that was dirt poor, like that looked at all these people or like, I'm not asking you for money. I'm asking you for an opportunity. Yeah. You're just gonna take it.
Yeah.
Like it's that Dave Chappelle joke of like, I took your joke. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I really resonate with that. So with our coffee and what we try to highlight is that like I don't gatekeep in a way where like there are certain things with La Café Liberica. We just had a collab with let me get the card. So as we're on this coffee journey,
you're fine.
This is one of the photos that we have from that same trip. After no one wanted to roast for us, so this is our second trip back to Vietnam as a team. That we were like, let's really get into coffee. So we took Chloe with us to the farm, and TT Farms out of Dalat. She taught me a lot about like that area, that type of coffee, and we want to make sure that if we were going to use your coffee, we're going to put your name on it. And they're like, whatever. right? You're another shop in America. We don't know you. And that's August, September, 2024,
Yeah.
right? We go all the way out to like some of the fly from Saigon to Hue, which is the old capital. From Hue, I had a strategy on how I could get a car. And then I would just hang out in town and book a 7-passenger vehicle. And the 7-passenger vehicle is the only vehicle in Vietnam that some of these vehicles have off-road mode or just off-road vehicles because
Yeah.
it floods in Vietnam.
Yeah.
They would then take me to, I knew like, okay, if you had a diesel and you had a vehicle that was high off the ground with tires that could go off-road, we could go to the farm that I need to
Okay.
go to,
Yeah.
which is at the border where the Liberica is grown. And you have to do paperwork because you can't, they smuggle things into Vietnam and out of Vietnam. So if you go towards the border too close, the army will stop you. And we don't have the police, we have the army.
Yeah.
So we did the paperwork to go towards this one farm. We get there, we did the whole thing on Liberica. We learned a lot about the indigenous tribe that has been growing Liberica since 1908 there. We learned about the whole region. We spent time with them. We spent like a week with the farmers. We learned how to roast with them. We learned everything as much as we could. We took the color sorter, color grader, and sorted the coffee with them and graded the coffee with them, told them about showed them the technology, right? Not like, oh, we're here to just pillage. We're
Yeah.
here to teach you and work with you. Like, this is the information your coffee is telling us for technology.
Yeah.
Use it how you must. Use it to sell more coffee.
Yeah.
But we're going to buy coffee from you, and then we're going to go back to America and put your name on the bag. So November of 2024, while I was in Vietnam, I was signing the paperwork with colliers. So we signed for this, where jungle next to
Who
where-
represented you?
you know him. There's
Don't say Matt Sorrow.
yeah. Huh?
Was it Matt Sorrow?
No. No one represented us.
Oh, got
we
it,
just
okay.
reached out because we saw the spot. It was a diamond in the rough, dude. But
You're talking about where Chloe's at.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that building was
That was Roy's, right?
It was Roy's. Oh, God damn, this sucks now.
Why does it suck?
Conversation just went crazy.
Oh, we don't need to go down a rabbit hole.
Okay. Roy had the building. Something happened. He, for lack of a better word, left. And
Yep.
The building owners was like, it needs to go back to the way it was before Roy was there. White. I was like, cool. well,
Oh, yeah. I've kind of heard some of this.
yeah. So I was like, whatever. You know, again, I'm not a culture vulture, so I did my due diligence, and I did as best as I could, right? But I was like, I don't own the building, so I don't have a say in this, right? But I was like, whatever. This is all we can afford. Like this shop in the alley. But I was like, cool. Let's piece this all together. What do we need to spend money on? We need to spend money on getting the coffee from Vietnam to America.
Yep.
We need the best bags we can get our hands on. So we buy our bags from a company that's actually printed here in America. If you feel the bags, right?
It's like velvet.
It's very much a lot of texture. And
Yeah.
we did a lot of research because they're like, everybody's like, oh, you want to be the next Win coffee
Throw
supply.
that bag. That one.
She was like,
I want. Well, I want to.
oh,
there we go.
Okay.
I just want Rene to feel this.
Yeah. Let me.
I'm telling you, dude.
Oh yeah.
There's so much detail
There
that
is.
I did that is like, I know people don't care.
Man.
But I also come from brand building with two of the biggest names in car automotive, where it's like this little detail for our daughter, right?
That's
I don't care if someone picks up the bag and never notices it.
Yeah.
There's this little detail of like at the very bottom of like just this. You know, at this bottom, technically you can't be in major retail shelves unless you have this. You need a place for people to sue you. So you need your name, your business name, your address, and everything. There's that little detail.
Honestly, the colors on this too are just like 10 out of 10.
I spent 4 days trying to find the right version of the map of Vietnam that I could call back to Vietnam and get the government and get people involved to say, this map is not going to rub anybody wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one knows that.
That's crazy.
No one's going to even notice that. It's just a map.
And legacy. Talk about legacy, bro. Like, we got your daughter on here. You're representing the country. This is like as small batch
Small detail.
as you're gonna get. Real quick, I've been meaning to ask this. The Liberica. Would that be considered a dark roast coffee?
No, so we don't look for a light, medium, or dark roast. We try to highlight the right roast. So we work with the farmers where all of the coffee that we roast here in America, like let's say I get this coffee, it's the first time I'm getting it, I will roast it. I will ship these bags back to Vietnam, so the farmers can see their name and their bag in Vietnam, and they can try it. They can be like, oh, this is. They know their product better than I do, and I know Sacramento better than they do. We want to work with them to bring a product that they could be proud of.
Yeah.
So we don't label things according to the color grader, SEA, of like medium, dark, or light, the way most people traditionally associate like dark roast is better for espresso. You could have a good medium roast espresso from a certain bean if that bean has certain characteristic.
Gotcha.
Like fine Robusta for the longest time has never been seen in America, but we've been using it in Vietnam. It's a varietal of Robusta that the government has invested in. They basically gave a blank check to UC Davis. The Vietnamese delegation came to UC Davis, like, funny enough, 3 weeks before I did, and was like, we want to do certain things with coffee that will surpass droughts and storms, specifically focusing in research lab on Robusta.
Yeah.
So the coffee that we have, it highlights back to our roots here in Sacramento. My wife's family opened up one of the first Vietnamese coffee shops here in Sacramento called Café Chiu Tim, Purple Evenings. He's a huge Kings fan, right? There's a photo of him on our website. He's wearing purple because he's also a Prince fan.
Yeah.
Right? It was not just a coffee shop because people didn't really drink coffee there.
Yeah.
It was like 90s Vietnamese gangsters drinking liquor in teapots. But the point of that was it was a place that we could call home in our community. They got out of the business because they were smoking, they were drinking, and it wasn't a great place to raise their daughter, my wife. They used to put her in the cubby, like literally sleeping underneath the cubby, right? Yeah. So we wanted to highlight that whether people read it or not, we're true to our roots here in Sacramento, where like they ended the they're like the good guys shooting happened, so they're like, yo, it's a terrible place to raise our daughter.
Yep.
Let's get out of the coffee business. They got into deluxe burgers and also a laundromat at the time, and so deluxe burgers is where the family started really building things, right? They actually worked with at the time, I forgot what his official title was, but Robert Dickerson to make Little Saigon happen. So a lot of local stuff, like they built the Vietnamese community brick by brick here, right?
Man.
So when we built Chloé, we were like, yo, how do we say Midtown Vietnamese specialty, right? And cars, right?
Yeah.
Because I wanted Chloé to grow up in what I like, right? So we knew that as a proof of concept, let's spend our money on this very expensive espresso machine, right? That's a $30,000 espresso machine. It's named after Ken Bache, KB90. La Marzocco, the Italian brand that makes the espresso machine. Ken Bache grew up in Turlock. And he went to school and he settled down basically in Washington. And on a college trip to Italy, he figured out like, oh, how do I bring this machine and this culture back to America? Brought it back and sold the machines to Starbucks.
Man.
So he became the licensed basically partner. They made him part of blah, 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 blah on the board. But on the 90th anniversary of La Marzocco, they made Ken Bache, KB, the machine. Their best technology and their most sellingest machine that he brought to America. So KB90, it ties back to legacy and ties back to Sacramento and where we're from, right? So I was like, we have to have a KB90.
Yeah.
I will take out another loan. Whatever it takes, I'll go sell dumplings on the corner of like Stockton Boulevard, but we need a KB90.
Yeah.
Got a KB90, and we're like, yo, we can't afford to plumb nothing in.
Yeah.
Like we're broke. We're broke. And then luckily that spot that we're at, Roy had already put the 3-compartment sink in there. So I built a coffee cart. If you go to our shop and you look very closely, the whole bar is a cart. So me, my contractor, and his dad drove to Power Rene to buy granite, a slab of kitchen granite. It's quartz, the cheaper one.
Yeah. Did you go to L&U? Where did you go?
I think it was. It's like a whole bunch of like slabs of quartz over there.
Yep.
So we bought that, came back, and Dewey handyman, him and I and his dad sat there and just made that cart in like 2 weeks.
Dang.
And
Why does Dewey sound hella familiar?
you might know him. He's he's in the community, but so we're like, yo, we need to make it look like it's fancy, but not put lipstick on a pig.
Yep.
We're representing our culture and our people. We need to do it right. This machine is everything that we can afford, but it has to produce good coffee, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are we gonna roast on? We can't afford the roaster now because we gotta plumb
Yeah.
it in.
Yeah.
We gotta buy it. It's like $100,000, and then we gotta wait for the city. Let's just roast offsite for now. Let's drive to Berkeley.
That's not where you're roasting right now, is it?
It is.
Dang.
So that video that just
That's-
rolled out that
yeah.
was dope. And by the way, is that the norm? Is that how you guys?
That's
bro,
it.
listen real quick. These dudes, you said drugs, man. I gotta say, man, it's like you mentioned the Clips album, and like, bro, it literally looks like they are cutting cocaine, but it just happens to be coffee beans.
That's crazy.
Everybody sells drugs, but who's moving weight?
Ooh.
Bro, and I'm talking like this.
love it.
I'm talking like they're like single-handedly all and that. By the way, that shit's gotta suck.
Well, here's the thing. The whole podcast, I've been talking about legacy and Vietnamese people
Yeah.
and where we're going, right? Everybody thinks I want to be the next Win Coffee Supply. She's dope. I love Sarah. She's about to have a baby. Like, she's super dope. But she's in retail shelves and Whole Foods and Sprouts and stuff like that, right? You go in there, you see our last name. That's a pivotal point in Vietnamese American
Yeah.
history where we see our names in a bag in Omaha,
Yeah.
right? That's your last name on a bag. And I wanted to continue that, but I wanted to focus on strictly specialty coffee. And if I am somewhat lucky, I'll be the next Temple, but for Vietnamese community, right? How do we do that?
Yeah.
Well, let's buy the expensive espresso machine, but we can't afford the roaster. So we get our coffee shipped to us by a guy who moves 26,000 containers into America every year. He's Vietnamese. I met him through the Porsche Club of Vietnam.
Dang.
Going back to cars again.
Dang.
He brings our coffee to our shop, and I store it at our shop. We're a USDA certified facility to store and sell green coffee.
Because there's like behind there's like a
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So I store coffee, and then when I need to roast, which twice a week, 3 times a week, or like once a week, I take a 60-kilo bag, just like my dad did, put it on my back, and load it into the car, drive down to Berkeley, and I roast. Sometimes I would just do it the night before, and I would load it, drive down to Berkeley, sleep in the car, wake up, roast, and drive back before
That is wild.
whatchamacallit, traffic.
Do you own this truck or do you rent one or like?
I own it now, but like that doesn't solve the issue. Like
Exactly.
the sweat equity of what people don't see that I don't present sometimes on the Chloe web page versus on the personal page. The people that support me are like, this dude literally is moving what he is doing, or doing what he say he was doing, which is legal weight. To me, I like coffee, but I love my people. This is the first time a Vietnamese brand has partnered up with the biggest name in coffee. I don't care what you say. La Marzocco is the biggest name in coffee, and we're shipping 500. We're shipping to 500 homes, 2 bags each. And then when you open it up, it's a little bit about our shop, a little bit about the coffee, but I didn't gatekeep, so you could go here and try to buy coffee from them, and you're gonna find out very quickly how hard it is to actually buy coffee.
Yeah.
From 96B and Bowie Coffee Supply.
Dang.
It's their last name. It's their business. I can't move a certain amount of.
Yeah.
I committed to 3 tons of Liberica. That's more than what anyone has on the West Coast.
So just right now, just so I can be clear for everyone listening, where can people buy the beans?
Our roasted coffee can be bought on our website and in stores.
Okay.
Right? And then this collab was a great way for us to go nationwide. We've been open since our grand opening was March 22nd. I've been playing this my whole life.
Yeah.
I've been working on this my whole life. This is a great way as to say nationwide. You could get our coffee. You could go on Shopify. You could buy it. We'll ship it to you. But it's also like some of the customers, they're not actually home customers. La Marzocco makes the home machine, but some of them are like other coffee brands that if you want to buy green coffee, we'll sell you the green coffee.
Yeah.
I don't need to make all the money.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah.
I need to make just enough to raise Chloe, to pay Jenny well, to put my team on and to say, hey, I don't have a $14,000 coffee grater or sorter to make the coffee look good,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Sometimes when you roast coffee, it's not because the farmers want to, but because unfortunately there's rocks or twigs that get in, and then some of the coffee, there's not enough sugars or things in them or density. They don't roast correctly. They're called Quakers.
Okay.
And big brands, Temple, they have machines to shoot that have AI scan the coffee as it goes through an air chamber, and it shoots out all the bad coffee.
That's crazy.
I aspire to be like Temple. But right now, Jenny, can we call the Vietnamese Student Association at Sac State and donate to them every time they have an event or like whatever, and give them an opportunity to be working with us, to donate for them, but also show them how business works,
Yeah.
and have them come here and sit here and sort coffee with us?
Come on.
Man.
So
Is that happening?
That's what you saw in the video. All those kids are sitting there, they're sorting coffee by
crazy.
hand, bro.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
we sorted through 4.5, well, technically 6 bags, but each bag is 60 kilos. 60 kilos times 2.2.
I feel like I literally just sat here and watched a movie, and no offense, because I'm just going to keep it real. The movie kind of started slow, right? Because you covered a lot, and
I
then
love the history.
now I'm just getting hit with stuff. I think what makes you so intriguing is you have a really good ability to connect with people. Like there's
Without a
there's
doubt.
so many different connections that you've made. You know, obviously the hustle's there. The hustle is absolutely there. But when you combine that grit, and it's kind of like just go and figure it out as you're going. Like, you're not somebody that, to me, from the story you've told, that you're going to sit down and plan something for a long time. You're kind of just going out there and doing it.
Opposite, actually. I've been to, and I tell this to my mom, she still doesn't understand this, but imagine if the car world and wealth and all the business knowledge you would learn from a Mark Cuban or blah, 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 right? My favorite idol of all time is a Porsche. Paul Allen and Bill Gates were both big Porsche guys, right? And I've had the luxury to be around their cars. Actually just went out to Portland to see a car that Paul Allen actually owns. It's my favorite car, right? Inside of Paul Allen's 964 Turbo is a mobile phone from Porsche, like factory mobile car phone, right? And if you press 1 and hold down on speed dial, kids don't know what speed dial is, but you hold down 1, it will call Bill Gates' house phone. Those are the rooms I'm in. And I learned from that. So I plan things out very accordingly, but I don't have the money to do it. What I mean by that is, it's like I've been to the top of Mount Everest, and I'm like trying to go back down to the bottom of the mountain. I'm like, yo, let me lead my people. Let me come with me. And they're like, where's that Gucci shirt, bro? Where's the T-shirt?
Yeah.
Like, where's my Lambo? Where's your Lambo? You ain't got Lambo. Where are you
Yeah.
leading me? And Jenny's had to witness this as she's grown, and my wife's had to witness this as she's grown. And even Steven, like, he's worked for us. He's like, dude, I remember when we were in this shop cutting wood, and you sound like a crazy person talking, but everything you said has happened. But it's like, La Marzocca is going to come in here because I bought the most expensive machine technically you could buy at that time.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm moving product that no one has access to besides Blue Bottle.
Yeah.
Also, there's going to be a car in here. And it might be like our buddy, we have a lot of car friends, right? But the reason why you can relate to the things I'm saying is because it's not like I came in and paid for branding. I grew up in it.
Yeah.
I'm in the car community. I'm in the bike community, right? I ride now because my dad ride, right? The last thing I remember doing with him was we went on a ride together, right?
Yep.
So I'm in the bike community. I'm doing things. I'm in the camera community. I shoot all of our stuff on Leica because the last photo of the photo that changed the war was called Napalm Girl.
Yep.
It's shot by Nick Oot, who's now like he's a friend of mine now. But I vowed to myself that those social studies books and pictures that I told you about at the beginning, I knew that one day I was kind of like, I want to change the fact that we only see our people as the war. So now I was like, one day I'm going to figure out what that is, and I'm going to shoot with that same camera that shot the napalm photo. So I shoot on Leica.
That's dope, man.
Because Napalm Girl was shot on a Leica. And now I don't post pictures of the war, or I don't talk about the war in my personal page, or shoot anything that resonates with just the negativity that you people associate. I know both sides lost.
Yeah.
That's what civil war is. If you relate a lot of what the Vietnamese culture is back to the Confederate South, we don't call it the Confederate flag. We call it the rebel flag. It's a lot of a resemblance to what Vietnamese people in America, Vietnamese Americans, associate the Three Stripes flag with. Who's right or wrong, we don't know. I'm too young, and we're just a blip in time to be able to say, like, we're actually the person that's right.
Yeah.
He who wins writes the stories of history.
Exactly.
Right? So I digress from the politics, but I highlight a lot more of, like, you resonate because I grew up on both sides. I understand the struggle of people that are like, bro, I didn't get to go to America and dream the American dream like you did.
Yeah.
I didn't get to go to work for one of the top brands. You're telling me all these things, but like, you really gonna put my name on the bag? I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm gonna put your name on the bag. So now we posted the video, and Gan, who's our supplier, he's like, I can't tell if you're selling coffee or you're a movie actor. I'm like, no, man, I'm you.
Yeah.
Like,
Who shot that video?
Haas. Haas is local. Haas Shanker went to Sac State. Haas is dope as hell. He comes into the shop a lot. But he
Is
shot
that how
it.
you met? Is that how you met him originally?
Dude, he was just walking down the alley.
Dang.
And I was hanging out with one of his homies outside the shop. And he was like dapping him up. We started talking, and we just clicked. He's a
Man.
big Larry June guy.
Oh, well, he did it. He did it the right way. I also wanted to just give you kudos real quick because, like, there's nothing wrong with like owning a business in like South Sac. But when I travel to any big city in America, I'm not trying to go 20, 30 minutes outside of the core of the city.
Yep.
Does that make sense? If I want to be like immersed into the culture, if I want to go to the best coffee shop, go to the best restaurants, and just have the best walking scores, whatever you want to say, I'm going to the midtown of that city. So thank you for bringing the shop to where it's at.
Yeah.
And I mean, just the amount of cool people I bet that you get to meet, because I'd like to consider myself pretty hip in with the hip crowd in Sacramento. Like, I know every dope artist, musician, photographer. They're like, we know each other, right? And everyone has had nothing but like really dope shit to say about you. It almost feels like your shop, when you're giving us the timeline, it feels like it's been around a lot longer than it has.
Yeah.
And that's a testament to the brand.
I understand, like, it's as a proof of concept, and I keep blabbering on about like what we're spending money on. Is that I need to build a brand, and I need to show people that I could do it, and I did it. It's not just a cool, hip, trendy coffee shop with a car inside or an expensive car inside. The biggest name in coffee just gave me a collab. So I know what pays the rent is the bourbon vanilla lattes and the just Americano. We can't afford a drip machine. Most people are like, why don't you sell drip? That makes money. I'm like, yeah, but that's $3,000 for a machine that I'm going to sell 2 cups a day on and make maybe a quarter on.
Wait, I'm so confused now, but I can get a cappuccino, right?
You get a cappuccino. So a drip machine or a drip is like, it will literally drip the coffee. Some shops use drips because it's cheap. You could put a pound, 2, 5 pounds in and get 1,000 cups if you want it, right? But that's when you get drip coffee, if you go to a Mac Cafe, right? Or you go to any shop and you're like, I want a drip, right?
It's nasty.
It's not that it's, yes, but I don't want, politely speaking, it's because the machine is heating up the coffee that's been brewed already.
I get it.
Yeah.
It feels burnt. It's hot. It's burning your tongue.
You're covering all of the best basic food groups of coffee. Cappuccino, you got that. You're making the best Americano I've ever had in my entire life. Like that shit is nuts. I'm not a big like into the sweets guy. That stuff's perfect. And you do pour overs. You've covered all of the basic.
Well, I wanted to, in business we call it the TAM, the total accessible market. What is the total accessible market of Sacramento? Is it people that relate to us that want Café Sida, the Vietnamese coffee with condensed milk? I got that. But if you come into my shop and you say, why is it not in a fin drip? I'm like, dude, the war ended in 75. Why are you still trying to live in that era?
Yeah.
No disrespect, because my mom, that's how my mom talked to me.
Yeah,
my mom's like, why don't you do fin drip? I'm like, Mom, if you go to Vietnam now, no one's really using a fin drip in their shops. We want to promote and show where Vietnam is at on a global level. We're no longer a frontier market. We're an emerging market.
Yeah.
There's U.S. money in Vietnam. There's Chinese money, Dubai money, Thailand money in Vietnam, investing in the future. Why are we trying to buy a fin drip? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Right? So I do Vietnamese condensed milk. So it's like bourbon vanilla latte, the recipes, right? Vietnamese cà phê sữa đá, coffee, condensed milk, coffee, and ice, right? That is ice, right? Traditionally, Vietnamese Americans associate Vietnamese coffee with Café du Mal. Café du Mal sources a lot of their coffee. All of their Café du Mal coffee technically is from Brazil. It's an Arabica, not even from Vietnam.
Cafe du Monde, where's that at?
It's they're based out of New Orleans.
Bingo. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Sounded
so-
familiar.
Not New Orleans, but if you're really from the South, it's New Orleans.
Nolans.
New Orleans. They use chicory with Arabica to get that woody Robusta taste. Vietnamese people associate caffeine with good coffee. So depth, body, but that's how you get it through Robusta. So from 75 to 94, we were embargoed, so we could only trade with Soviet Russia, Socialist Italy, and West Germany. So all of our coffee, and technically Australia, but so all of our coffee that we have on our menu, if you're a Russian or Ukrainian from the areas of Rancho, you like our coffee because that's what you grew up with. You don't know why, but you know you like it. But that's because your mom and dad, that's all they drank.
Yeah.
If you're from Australia, we actually don't serve Americanos in the shop. We don't call it a long black, but that's what Australians call it. So it's water first, then coffee. Very intentional, but not in your face. We don't want to make customers feel ignorant. But if you ask the question, we'll help educate you.
Yeah.
Because we want to show you that, like, we're here for conversation. But we, you know, if you look, pick up a can of condensed milk from your coffee shop that's like, not coffee shop, but like a pho restaurant in Southside, it's going to be probably Longevity brand, and it's the blue label. The blue label is not real milk. It's actually creamer and sugar. We only use the gold label, so it's actually milk in there. It's creamier and it's less sugar. My mom hates it. She don't even drink my coffee. She's like, this is terrible. You serve this to people?
Crazy.
And I'm like, Mom, I'm buying the best of the best of the best. And she was like, nah, this ain't it, Chief. Like, this is
That is great. I know that we not to get caught on this, but like I don't really drink like the coffee. Like I don't really drink when I make coffee every day. Like what I would consider like dark roast. And I know that you covered what you covered, but there's something about this that it's rich and bold. Like I mentioned to you, like when I'm making a pour over with it, like you can smell it like in another room. Second thing I'll say about it is this shit is like abnormally strong.
So here's the thing. When you
Am I right on that?
correct. So when you are a country that's been bombed out, literally, and your government is now coming in to say, we're going to invest in coffee because that's what we have. That's what we can move. That's what we can sell, right? You're going to spend a lot of money on that as a government. So the way, it's very different in the way how politics and government works in America. We're like, okay, this company's working on this company's working on that. But if the country is like, this is what we're working on, that's what you're working on. So that bag next to you, the Radar Farms, that's THA1. That is a Arabica from Ethiopia because all coffee comes from Ethiopia. But that's an Arabica from Ethiopia that was brought to Vietnam, took 25 years to develop. The Vietnamese government flew in with some farmers, some other farmers from Africa, from Ethiopia and other African countries to help develop and do research on this one coffee, an Arabica that will grow in Vietnam. It grows like a Robusta, so it grows tall. It doesn't need a lot of shade, but it tastes like an Arabica from Ethiopia. So when people come in, they're like, yo, I like Ethiopian coffee. I get really like, politely, I try to digress, but I'm like,
boy.
Women? You just said I like Ethiopians. I don't know what that means. Men, food?
Yeah.
Like, what do you like?
Yeah.
oh, I like Colombian. Colombian what? Food? Cars? Like, what is it about Colombia that you like? But they're like, no, I mean Colombian coffee. I'm like, I still don't know. Because the country doesn't really describe the coffee. But because we only source, like, people like, I like Mexican coffee now. What does that mean? I'm like, well, I like Oaxacan coffee. Oaxaca grows Robusta now, right? So if you can describe to me what you like in a pour-over, right? It doesn't have to be a country. It's like, I like fruity, I like citrusy, I like tart. I'll steer you towards the TT Farms, a Catamore that's grown in Vietnam. But if you're like, I like bite, I like strong, I like something that's like a Cabernet,
Yep.
I'll steer you towards Liberia.
Well, I can't. I consider myself a coffee head. I still can't get into the floral, the cinnamon. I'm getting married in Oaxaca, and I was in Oaxaca in February with my fiance, and we had a pour over from, the coffee was sourced up in the mountains. Anyways, super light. Like it was just like almost. Yeah, I can't describe it. Like it was just like a really, really light coffee. Same with like any sort of Ethiopian. I kind of like was on an Ethiopian coffee kick for a while, and then I know I don't know if it sounds weird, but like it's again. I put it into like it's almost too light for me now. Like does that make sense?
Opinions and taste is subjective.
Of course, yeah.
But data is not.
Yeah.
Science is not, right? We do a lot because we care a lot, and not just to sell the story. As we're both holding this, I'll segue to that. Like the coffee that we use is because the people that are in those areas, they're fourth, third generation farmers. They're taking over their family's farm, but they're also using technology now. They know that like, hey, a light roast in Western Standard would taste good, but that applied to a Eastern coffee, like that's not gonna work. So how do we do something that's like tastes like that, but is different? So the color grader uses the data from SEA and their charts and the color gradation and the acron level that are in the coffee to say this is a dark roast. Well, most people say dark roast tastes bad. Yeah, if you roast an Arabica that's supposed to be fruity, dark, it's gonna taste bad.
Yeah.
No one likes to eat burnt, like technically a burnt peach cobbler is good, but like a burnt watermelon is not gonna taste good.
Yeah.
Right? We care. We source everything there, so we have to understand everything from there.
Yeah.
To tie it back to not politics, but politics, the matcha that you are drinking is sourced from the same place that my grandpa went to re-education camp at.
That's incredible.
It's from Sung La.
That's incredible.
He literally spent 7 years in a re-education work camp in the same mountain where that matcha is from. This coconut water that we use in the coconut matcha cloud is 3 hours from where I was born.
That's insane.
And look at the name, is Gay Trey. One of his sons' name is Trey.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, how do you pronounce it? Because I know I messed it up.
Jenny, you want to pronounce
Jenny,
it?
come on, was that funny, Jenny? Okay, it's right here.
So Jenny, the reason why I always reference back to her is because
Oh, that's a C? Damn it, look. Kai-che. You guys know that I do speak Vietnamese a little bit. So yeah. Chúc mừng năm mới. Thank you, bro. He's just disappointed at me. He's like, why boy trying to fit in? That's the
No, it's not that. It's more of like language and culture is very different.
Yeah.
In terms of like the reason why I have Jenny a lot on these trips is because like her family they associate themselves with Hue, the old capital. They pronounce it Hue. I call it Hue.
H-U-I. Oh, sorry.
H-U-E.
H-U-E.
Right? But there's parts of where we get the coffee from that like I don't understand a single word.
Dang.
It's not.
That's
It's
crazy.
Vietnamese.
You don't understand.
I don't
single-
understand a single word
Crazy.
because the dialect is so different, bro.
Yeah.
It's like if I started really pulling out the country accent right now, you could kind of understand it.
Yeah.
But like you get that Bayou La Batterie, that Baton Rouge BR, or like New Iberia, Louisiana in here.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a tough time.
By the
Yeah.
way, one of my
That's
favorite
crazy.
experiences of my entire life to this day was when we were in Saigon and then we took a flight. I'm probably gonna mess it up to Fuqua. And at that time, I'm 42. So when I went there, I was like 28. So this was like 15 years ago. It was like they had maybe 3 or 4 hotels on the entire island at the time. It was like undiscovered. It was one of the most beautiful places I've been to in my entire life. Chartered a boat. It was just me and my buddy. I was like, "Where's everyone else?" He's like, "Nope, just you two for the day."
Yep.
Took us fishing. Got to go snorkeling.
Cool,
it was like
That's cool.
absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I love Vietnam.
It is, for me, the end game. So we work a lot on how to build Chloe to be a legacy. Whether she takes it over or not, there's no pressure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I've built the business, the LLCs, the C Corps in a way where one day, if I'm lucky, we don't want 20 Chloes. We want just one physical location, maybe 2. We want, people that put in the sweat equity like Jenny to be part owner and to manage and to be well off.
Yeah.
So if we get a buyout, which is what a lot of people are going after now, like Blue Bottle got bought out a long time ago for $700 million. Fields just got bought out for I think 125, 175. Not a lot of people know that Equator Coffee out in the Bay, that's LinkedIn money. A Sight Glass out of San Francisco, that's Twitter money from Jack Dorsey, right? All these big brands have a lot of big money behind them that they can grow, right? We are getting to that moment just 6 months in where a lot of people are like, yo, I want to do 20 of these. I'm like, I don't want 20. That's a lot of headache. I will build you a white label. I will build you a business, and I'll let you name it whatever you want. Just I'll supply you as a white label or private label. You run with it. I don't have that ego and that need.
Yeah.
I know I can get Chloe to 20 million, but I can't get it from 20 million to 100. I don't need to, but I know I need to get to, because that sounds like a lot. It's not a lot, right? But I need to get there so that I could build a legacy so that like my end game is I want, as far as like connecting both worlds and communicating product, I want Vietnamese Americans to be able to do business and do things in Vietnam with our fellow countrymen to help Vietnamese people in general. Not on a community level of like, oh, we only help people in Westminster because they're Vietnamese Americans. We're like, yeah, but the person in Vietnam is still Vietnamese.
Yeah.
Like the community of Vietnamese people in Sacramento, right? They need to, let me rephrase. I would hope that they understand that those are still our people. We work with them, we grow with them, and the country's rising, we all rise, right? And for me, it's like, how do I do that and end up over there?
Yeah.
Because right now we are very
That's
close to
amazing.
owning a vertical.
Yeah.
But I want to own land in Vietnam, where I'm from, and I want to be buried in Vietnam.
That's incredible.
Insane. We got 2 minutes. So here's my question. Hours of operation for Chloe. What are they?
They switched throughout the seasons. We just did the longest month. It was 7 to 7 in August. So if people still seeing that, we're not open 7 to 7 anymore. That was a lot of work for me and Jenny specifically. But we are now 7 to 5. Monday through Friday, every day.
What do you say? Monday through Friday?
Every day.
Oh, every day.
Every day of the week. It doesn't matter if it's the weekends or not. Every day.
Got it. Okay.
365.
Got to ask this question, but if there's, I'm sure you're probably going to probably say at home, but if there's one Vietnamese restaurant in Sacramento or the greater Sacramento area, and this is a question for all 3 of you.
No, they don't get to answer this.
Oh!
They're not Sacramento enough for me to answer this. Yeah.
Bro, you was kind of like hating on Sacramento at one point, but can we safely say that you are in love with Sacramento now?
Dude, I have a shirt that I wear almost every day that says "I hate Sacramento." Oh, sorry, Sacramento hates you too.
I love it. Okay. What's the restaurant?
A shameless plug, but Billy Ngo Chu Mai.
Chu Mai.
Chu Mai is the best.
Chu Mai, I've been twice. I've been with you.
Yeah.
Chu Mai is amazing.
We went together.
I went to Pho Mama and I was really blown away.
Pho Mama is good, but if you're talking about a dish and where our people are going and the same energy that like I carry every day and what about Chu Mai.
Charlie, thanks for coming in.
You are the
It's been
definition of a
absolutely
legacy,
you,
man. Seriously.
phenomenal. And thanks, guys, for bringing in the goodies.
Appreciate
And,
you all.
Man, can't wait to to bring Rene in so he can see it in
I'll be
person
in
soon.
soon, man.